Hey, company movers. Robin and I are diligently working behind the scenes to bring you the rest of season 2, but we need a little time to catch up. Life has been lifing. In good ways, but lifing nonetheless. Instead of a new episode this week, I'd love for you to listen to my appearance on Jason Dingis's podcast called Lost Rhetoric. We chat about the surprising progressive past and potential hauntings at Peoria State Hospital, which was right outside of my hometown in Illinois. Jason was a guest on episode 10 of season 1 of Company Move, so go back and take a listen to that episode as well. We will be back here with a new episode hopefully next week. So for now, enjoy Lost Rhetoric.
Let's talk about these aliens.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lost Rhetoric, a dim space for light hearts where we discuss all manner of odd. My name is Jason Dingus. Thank you for being here with me. This episode, Renni Pollock from the Company Move podcast will be joining me. We are discussing a couple state hospitals, some defunct and not operational state hospitals. She grew up in Peoria, Illinois, so we discussed the Peoria State Hospital and its sometimes weird history. It opened in 1902 and was called the Illinois Asylum for the Incurable Insane. Kind of creepy, right? And I did some research about a now defunct, demolished state hospital here in Oregon called Damish State Hospital, and that has an interesting history, and it turned into a sprawling suburb that exists today, and mental health was at the heart of its development, so it's pretty interesting. And there's some weird shit in there that we get into, because these state hospitals got some fucked up histories, to be honest. So yeah, that's what Renni and I will discuss tonight. Also, Steve X, he has an update. He went to the Denver airport. He has some things to say. I'm going to put that brief discussion at the tail end of the episode after Renni and I talk. So stick around for that loaded episode here tonight. So let's get into what we always get into. What am I listening to? Well, since you asked, I'll tell you. Flyte, Flyte, has a new album called Between You and Me, and it's really good. These two dudes, singer-songwriter, kind of just acoustic vibes. Not all acoustic, but just nice music, Really recommend. Great album covers, too, these guys. Margot Price has a new album called Hard-Headed Woman, and she seems to be. To me, this is her most country record. She's a country musician, but she does whatever she wants. She's a great singer. Every album's been great, but this one's a little more countrified, I guess, than her previous records. It's pretty good. Deftones, Private Music. I'm a late Deftones fan in life, and I've been enjoying their last few albums, and this one's been owning the charts, apparently. All 11 tracks are in the top 20 of the hard rock charts, which is crazy. Like, the whole album's up there. It's a good record. I like it. I like them. This has been on repeat, honestly. Check out that record. Dean Johnson, I Hope We Can Still Be Friends, got this record in the mail the day it came out. Saddle Creek Records is on point. Like, I literally got the vinyl in the mail the day the record was released, which never happens. It always comes like a week or two after it's released. I got it the day it was released, like that Friday. So, highly recommend Dean Johnson. I know I've mentioned him before. Julian Baker and Torres, Send a Prayer My Way. A collaboration album here. A country album, which again, these two ladies I don't think are known for country music. They're known more for their singer-songwriters. I don't know much about Torres. I know more about Julian Baker and Boy Genius and all that stuff. But this is a great record. I highly recommend. They do it. They do country good. Devo, just Devo in general, or Devo, however you want to say it. I watched the Netflix documentary about him and kind of just went down the Devo hole. Nothing. I mean, every album, picking and choosing songs. Excellent band, of course. Idols have a new album in the form of a soundtrack for the movie Caught Stealing. Good. It's a good soundtrack. It's good to listen to. I haven't seen the movie. It's got a few, I guess you would consider traditional Idol songs, and the rest is, their soundtrack score kind of, I would say. Pretty good. It's cool to see them branch out and do some new stuff. Kurt Vile has a new EP called Classic Love, and I love it. I'm kind of confused because there's a song, the first song is Classic Love by Luke Roberts. That's who it says the artist is. And then there's a version called Kurt's or KV's version of the same song. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe Luke Roberts wrote it and Kurt Vile covers it. I don't fucking know. But it's a great song. Great EP. Check that out. Folk Bitch Trio. Now Would Be a Good Time is the name of the record. And they are exactly what their name implies. They are a folk group made up of, I assume, bitches of the female persuasion. And there's 3 of them. So Folk Bitch Trio. Really good record, actually. Rye Coalition, which is a band I have not listened to in fucking forever. They have a new, I think it's an EP, 5 songs. I think it's 5 songs, 4 or 5, maybe 6. New Sheriff in Town. And I listened to the first song and it sounds just like they did 20 years ago. Kind of that aggressive, I don't know what to call them. I mean, it's hardcore. I mean, it's punk, but it's like that like indie punk. Like they if you know Carp, they're like in the same vein as Carp. I think they even did a split with Carp back in the day. But they're just heavy, chaotic, really good, energetic music. Rock and roll, like some really heavy ass rock and roll, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I'm surprised to see they're still around. Pleasantly surprised. And Primitive Man, we're going to end on some Denver shit for Steve X. They have a new album coming out called Observance, but they released their new single, the first track off of it. It's a 10-minute epic banger called Social Contract, and the music is like they're on to something new. They're breaking new ground. I highly recommend giving Social Contract a listen in preparation for the album that's going to drop here soon enough, because they're doing some stuff I haven't really heard before. It's really good. Excellent. Good job, fellas. Can't wait for the full record. And the last band I'll mention, The Consequence, hardcore punk band, I believe out of Denver, because Steve X said they were from Denver, and he saw them when he was in Denver at the Youth Attack showcase. And they're really distorted, I'll tell you. But good. They're a good band. So check out The Consequence. And that is what I've been listening to. A little shop talk here. Speaking of music, I've been in a discussion with my friends from college. We have like this Signal thread that we always talk on. Shout out to all my CSF buddies in there. But one of them brought up, like, when are we going to drop Spotify? And I've been thinking about it for a long time, but it was in my brain, it was such a hassle. I was like, man, how am I going to rebuild? I got to find everything again. I have the years worth of playlists and music and downloads and whatever. I'm like, man, I got to rebuild my whole library. That's going to suck. And then our friend in that chat sent a link to this lady discussing alternative options to Spotify. And one of them's Qobuz, which is an awful name because it's spelled Qobuz. It doesn't look right. It's hard to say. I think it would turn people off, but it's awesome because I signed up for it and they immediately transfer everything for free to Qobuz from Spotify. So I dropped Spotify. The only problem I had with it is Qobuz is music only, no podcast. So I had to get a new podcast app that I'm not super stoked on because Spotify, honestly, the interface very user friendly, very easy, and I'm figuring out this new one. But glad to ditch Spotify, ditched Meta. I'm on Bluesky. I'm on Cobuzz. That's where you can find me nowadays. LostRhetoric.bsky.social is the page. Highly recommend getting on Bluesky. Highly recommend getting on Cobuzz. Why not, people? Cobuzz pays the most to artists, apparently 5 times more than the going rate in the digital market. And it's still not that much. I did the research. It says it's like $18 per 1,000 downloads, which doesn't seem like much. And it's not really if you're not a big artist. But if you're getting millions of downloads, that's a pretty penny. But they pay the most, and the most is the most. And artists deserve that. So I would recommend going to the place that pays these struggling artists, especially the indie artists, the most. You know, why not? Yeah, so find me on Bluesky. Email me, lostrhetoricpodcast@gmail.com. Go to lostrhetoric.com, your one-stop shop for every episode, the merch. Haven't sold merch in a while. I don't think people want merch anymore. But it's there if you want it. Shirts, mugs, koozies, pins, stickers, stuff like that. Check that out. What else? I think that's it. Email, Bluesky, website, Cobuzz. I think that's all I got. All right, let's get into this conversation with Renni. It gets crazy. We talk about crazy shit, literally. All right, I'll see you on the other side.
What's up, man?
Hey, Renni, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Um, Not too bad. Not too bad. Kind of did a cram session.
I also have done a cram session.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy this weekend, and yesterday was a day off, but ended up staining the deck for and going on a walk with the boy, and then I had to order Domino's for dinner, and just because we got home at like 8 p.m. I'm like, damn, man, where'd
Yeah,
the
you gotta
day
get
go?
something quick.
But anyway, oh yeah, we just jump right in. I just wanted to let you know.
Dope.
We're in it.
Well, you say that you had a cram session. I also had a cram session. I texted a bunch of friends last week just to see if they remember anything, and all of them were like, "No, I was too scared to go out there."
To Peoria State Hospital.
Yes, sorry. Yes, we're talking about Peoria State Hospital, which was a mental institution from 1902 until 1973.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
In what?
Bartonville, it was in
Bartonville.
Bartonville, Illinois, which is a village southwest by like 10 minutes from Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, so it's not in Peoria.
No, but it's I mean, yeah, it's a 10-minute drive.
And you are close to there currently?
No, I'm
Like
in Chicago. I'm
how
three
far?
hours, like
Three
three
hours.
hours north.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, northeast of there. I'm from Peoria though, so I grew up in Peoria and there's not a whole lot to do on the weekends if you're not able to get into a bar.
Hell yeah.
So,
You and Richard Pryor, man. That's
right.
Richard Pryor,
I think he got
Peoria's
into a
own.
lot more than I did, but
No
they
doubt.
finally renamed Sheridan Avenue after him. It's the honorary Richard Pryor.
That's fucking awesome. Cause yeah, he like grew up in a brothel or something out there. Like he had a crazy upbringing out there.
Yeah, he went to my high school. He got kicked out of my high school.
Fuck yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, not that he got kicked out, but
No.
to have any ties to Richard Pryor is pretty fucking cool in my book.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
he doesn't have glowing things to say about Peoria, Illinois, so
well, he grew up, yeah. I mean, his experience is way different for sure.
very much.
Very
Growing up as
much.
a black man in
And
Peoria
yeah,
versus a white woman is very
right.
different
In the time
anywhere.
he did, right. Um, so so Peoria State Hospital is a bit perplexing to me and to a lot of people because it does have a haunted history. And you have not bore witness to this because you said you had friends that would kind of test the waters and try to see
That
these.
was like, yeah, it was like a thing to do. Like, we're gonna go out to the state hospital and go walk around. Um, and I think I remember going out there once. I had two girlfriends of mine that didn't go to my high school, but we hung out all the time. And whatever boys we were hanging out with, I'm sure we wanted to impress and went
Right.
out there. And I think they got out of the car. I refused. I was like, I'm such a scaredy cat.
Well,
I purport myself to be brave, but I was like, I'm not fucking going in there. I wasn't afraid of ghosts. I was afraid of like creatures or human
right.
beings
Yeah,
lurking.
that's yeah,
Like
like real actual problems instead of like haunted problems.
right.
Because there like where did you go? Because weren't there 33 buildings on this property at one point?
63.
63?
There were 63 buildings. So just a little bit of so I
Damn.
texted a bunch of friends and asked them questions, and a lot of them were like, no, I don't really remember. I never went out there. And then I just last ditch effort texted my mom and my aunt last night.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt texted back was like, no, I didn't have to, I wasn't crazy, so I didn't have to go there. Like, and just made an offhand joke.
Right.
My mom was like, your Aunt Jakey's dad and mom were in charge of that place. Like they
What?
worked there.
No shit.
So
Okay.
so I texted my aunt last night. It's my mom's best friend from high school, but I've called her Aunt Jakey and she's been in my life my entire life. So
Okay.
she lives out on the East Coast now with her wife and she texted me back was like, "Yeah, what do you want to know?" My dad was the like head of psychiatrics there.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mom was also a psychiatric nurse.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Damn. So super inside intel.
yeah, and she was like, so I got on the phone with her this morning, and I have notes.
Okay. Okay. Because just for a little background, this hospital it was the Illinois Hospital for the Incurable
Incurable.
Insane.
Yeah, it was like the Women's League of Illinois or something like Peoria Women's Club. There's a woman who was in charge of that, who wanted to find funding to help people who were mentally ill to find a home for them.
Right.
And
And
that was the name of it in 1902. Yeah.
well, the crazy thing about the haunting aspect of this place is it doesn't seem to be born of like traditional mental state or state mental hospital like violence and torture and horrible
Yeah.
treatment, because George Zeller, like the guy who ran the place, had like a totally different gentle approach,
Way ahead of his time.
way ahead. And like apparently this place
Way.
was like super comfortable and they could roam around freely and they were treated well and they just had
Yeah.
like innovative treatments and they were and so the fact that there's these hauntings, it's not because these people were fucking violated in any sort of way. It's like
No.
they were
And
actually treated humanely the whole time.
yeah, it's just it seems like he was way ahead of his time. He petitioned as soon as he was hired to change the name
Mm,
because he didn't think that anybody was incurable
right.
or
Yeah.
insane.
That is I mean, that name is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also 1902.
I
Like, think about
know.
the time.
That is so
And I
crazy.
also like when I talked to my aunt, she's like, look, there was definitely electroshock therapy. Like, there's definitely
Oh,
things that
so
have been considered defunct now, but I mean like in the 1600s they were bloodletting and they thought that that was a
sure.
healthy I
Leeches
don't know
and
if it was
stuff.
actually the 1600s, but um it was the like treatment of the time with it a positive intention of trying to help people. It wasn't nobody was being tied down and shocked against their, I mean, I'm sure people were
Yeah, I mean, I
didn't
think
necessarily have will, but
right, right, right. Like that's what they were there. That was the treatment. That was just like normal, I guess.
yeah. But like the things that we see portrayed from that time in like American Horror Story or,
Yes.
like it wasn't that. Um, and it seems like everything I've read and talked to my aunt about that it was just a really, actually really beautiful, gorgeous place, 63 buildings. Imagine that.
I mean,
Like
that's huge.
it's a huge plot of land that there's a bluff. It's like on top of a hill and it was a bluff like overlooking probably Peoria, probably the river.
Mm-hmm.
Um the Illinois River runs through Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
And like people were allowed to roam free. She was like, the grounds were beautiful and huge. There were varying degrees of people who were both violent and passive. There was also, it was a time when people were just abandoned there. Like, say someone had cerebral palsy and they didn't know that people with cerebral palsy are not mentally ill. They're just
Right.
physically incapable of speaking or, you know, like
Right.
people were abandoned there even if they weren't
Interesting.
mentally ill and they were taken in and taken care of.
Oh, that's nice.
Um,
And your aunt, when was she there?
she's in her late 60s now, so said when she was a kid. I think her dad was the doctor there until it closed down.
And when did it close? Do you know?
73?
73? Okay. Oh yeah, it closed in 73. That's right. It was from 1902 to 1973. That's right.
Yeah, I was just reading an article, a really good article actually that was written recently in the Peoria magazine in January of 2023. And pull it up really quick, and it said that they went from I think in the late 1960s, early 1970s, from having two nurses or one nurse for every two patients to having one nurse for every 60 patients. So
Oh
they were
damn.
just continually underfunded.
Right.
And then, I mean, it's kind of a direct correlation to our current homeless population, homeless issue in the
Sure.
United States, is that a lot of these places that were homes and safe havens to people with mental illness were just shut down and there was no aftercare. There was no other option. And so a lot
Right.
of them ended up out on the streets
It's wild because
or in the prison system.
I'm gonna tell a story about an Oregon State Hospital at when we're done with Peoria, and it's like the story is like it's so similar. It seems like there was a period, especially in the 70s, when these state hospitals were getting shut down,
Yep.
and the treatment they were just like overrun. The treatment was awful. It was just like fucking. It just, I mean, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was made about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the old Salem Hospital down in Oregon here, or where they shot it anyway. And yeah, it just seems like these mental hospitals in the 70s were just like forced into being fucking awful.
Yeah, because
Really.
they didn't have funding. It's like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's with the public school system. We say the public school system's terrible, but we keep underfunding it. And then
Right.
these teachers are stuck with 40 kids in a class.
Right.
Like, they don't have the
They
capacity.
can't have effective care,
Right.
especially with this guy Zeller's vision of what he wanted, how he wanted to treat the patients. You can't do it the way you can't do it that way.
Yeah.
So
They also, I guess in the 70s, yeah, in the 70s, they opened up, and that place was open for a long time. It was called the Mental Treatment Center.
mm-hmm.
And it was in Peoria proper on it's now like a I think it's an abandoned building as well. But it
Damn.
was they turned it into like mega church for a while.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think if I'm right, I might be wrong. Someone
I mean,
if you're from Peoria and you know better, you'll make a comment and listen. But they named it after George Zeller. He was obviously long gone. He died in like 1938.
right.
Um, but it started out as a treatment center for drugs because there was lots of like heroin and other
Mm.
drug abuses happening in the 70s. So my aunt said it was a treatment center for drugs to begin, and then it was also a smaller version of the Peoria State Hospital for folks with mental disabilities. And I remember when it shut down that the homeless population in that area grew.
Right. I mean, it kind of has
It
to.
was in the I was a kid. It was in the 80s, like late 80s, early 90s, I
Yeah,
think, when
that's
it
when it
shut
was
down.
probably real bad.
Yeah.
Like that's when
Reagan
America.
era.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Crack, heroin, lots of homeless folks. Just I was watching a piece about this whole thing in Portland from 1982, and it was, yeah, bad, bad, bad.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
think that we forget that like these weren't all terrible places.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so what did your aunt have to say about did she have any like did you dig into her about the haunted aspect of this thing?
Yeah, she was kind of like, if there's any haunting there, it's because people weren't able to she's like, if you know, if we believe in hauntings and you believe that people aren't um it's just that they haven't found their rest. Like she doesn't think that there's
Mm,
anything sinister or um terrible. Like the most dangerous part of going out there was that the building was in decay. Like you could literally fall through a floor. It
sure.
was rotted. Like
Right.
the most dangerous part was the condition of the building, not necessarily that someone's gonna jump out of their grave and run after you.
Right. And speaking of, this is I watched the short video. There are apparently four cemeteries on the property with 4,132 patients buried there.
Yeah,
And
she was
these
kind of like she didn't necessarily want us to talk about that because she's afraid that people are gonna go there and traipse over. She used to go there and visit the graves because she thought that it was so hard to find that no one else would go there, so she would go there and visit the
man, but
graves.
the video that I saw had footage of them and it looks
Yeah, yeah,
crazy. Like these small headstones, like all crooked and shit. Like it looks creepy to be honest.
yeah.
Like or at least one of the graveyards. I don't know though. Wherever they got footage, I was like, man, that is actually kind of creepy.
Yeah, and I think that out of I was reading somewhere that they out of respect for the dead and anonymity, they numbered the graves instead of
Right.
naming them. And it looks like
Okay.
a lot of people actually died from like tuberculosis outbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
Um there was some other like and old age. You know, people
Yeah.
who just like live there. They said the average age was like 47 of people that live there. So they lived there the rest of their lives and died of old age. But I guess there was a certain point there was a lot of tuberculosis.
Man, that is you can die of old age in a mental institution. Like you could I mean you basically just live your life out there. That's like
Well, and it sounds like, you know, oh, my aunt told me a story too of because her dad was a chief psychologist and her mom was they also had a nursing hospital that Zeller founded,
mm-hmm.
which was also ahead of his time, like giving women like women weren't
Right.
nurses back then or weren't allowed to be like have their own careers in 1902.
Right.
So he founded a nurses hospital. Obviously her parents were not there in 1902, but
Mm-hmm. Right.
um so as soon as she said as soon as her mom began to show when she was pregnant with her, one of the patients made her a cradle with a rooster carved into the side. And her mom asked, you know, what did the rooster mean? And the patient said it's an Asian symbol of good luck. And like
Oh.
it was really beautiful. She's like, you know, I have such good memories of the people that I met there, and like she was allowed to really roam free. She's like, my mom wouldn't have let me roam free if it was dangerous, and that the
Right.
patients were fawning over her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would think a rooster would honestly be like this baby's gonna wake you up
Yeah.
every every fucking hour.
That might be it too.
But no, that is actually is really sweet. And yeah, that's uh I, yeah, we'll get into it later when I start talking about
Yeah,
damaged
I
state hospital.
definitely
But
didn't
the idea of free
expect.
roaming mental patients is like intriguing to me.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have. I mean, from reading a little bit online about it, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. It seems very forward thinking." But then to have like the firsthand account, I definitely expected us to be talking more about the like hauntings and the um uh
Right.
like paranormal aspect of it, but it's actually really a beautiful kind of like sad story.
It's wild because it's like the reality of the place seems like they did a wonderful job when they could, and were very innovative with the care and change, basically like change the game, it seems like. And but now the hospital, since it's been closed, it's now it's just like ghost hunter this, ghost hunter that. Like everyone's like
Yeah.
gotta go to the Peoria State Hospital and try to find ghosts. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, they flipped the narrative of like the place to just like, this place is creepy.
I will say, from what I've read about the Peoria State Hospital Museum, they seem to be, it sounds like the woman who founded that was had family that worked there when she was a child, so she spent a lot of time there as well. And so
Mm-hmm.
she is pretty dedicated to keeping it positive. She thinks that Zeller is there watching over in a positive haunting.
Yeah, see, I mean,
But
and it could, hey, it could be. I even read an article where this guy is kind of basically praising this place, and he's like, well, maybe not all ghosts are like born of like bad things. Like maybe it's ghosts of happy people, like are just,
right.
like they're just here. Like, hey, man, this place fucking rules. I don't ever want to leave.
Yeah. I was looking at pictures from when it was like in its glory and I'm like, holy shit, this place is gorgeous.
Right?
But yeah, 63. Oh, my aunt was saying that last time she was there, it looked like it'd been developed around it,
Yeah,
too, because
some
there's
some
only 13
some
buildings left.
yeah, because some video I saw said that a part of it's like a business park now or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, how weird is that?
That is kind of weird. Just like you don't know where you're at or what it was, I guess, when you just kind of shift the vibe and put businesses
Yeah.
there and you just show up to this area and you don't know the history, I guess. Um, yeah, business park's an odd choice. I, I,
Well,
I guess, but you got to do
we
what you got
live
to
in a
do.
capitalistic society. What are you
everything,
gonna do?
everything turns into a fucking warehouse.
Yes, unfortunately.
Have you heard of Old Book? Did you
No.
did you read about Old Book?
No, what's that?
Okay, so this is the most, I guess, famous ghost at Peoria, and they they call him Old Book, right? And I guess he was a popular patient during Zeller's time.
Okay.
So he was a grave digger, and it was said that during the burial services, which apparently Zeller would like give a speech, like he made a show out of, like he would like be at every funeral presiding over the whole thing and making kind of like a show of it, I guess is what I read. Like
Hmm.
he like, I guess, paid tribute to the patients and like whatever,
Yeah.
gave them like a proper burial and stuff
Yeah.
with a funeral. And they say that this guy's, they call him Old Book because his recorded name is Manuel Bookbinder, or Emmanuel A. Bookbinder. And they think his last name came from like he was a bookbinder at one point in his life, like his
Right.
old job at a printing house that he had. But he was alive from 1878 to 1910, and he they called him, or he, yeah, so yeah, Old Book because of bookbinder. But he would weep at this old elm tree, like basically during every funeral, like he would
Oh.
like cry, you know. And so when he died, he's at grave marker 713, by the way. Uh, there's a story, like a famous story of his actual funeral. So they said that there was hundreds of patients at this funeral because he was so beloved, you know. And
Yeah.
he was also mute, and so no one could like talk to him really. So I don't know. Just imagine this like mute crying gravedigger guy that's like mourning the loss, But he's also a patient. It's just kind of sad and beautiful in this weird way. Um, so hundreds of people were at his funeral, and they said that when they were lowering the coffin in, that the people said it didn't feel like there was a body inside, like it didn't feel heavy,
Hmm.
and it felt empty. And then they heard a crying sound from the elm tree area where he used to like cry all the time. And they said everyone turned and looked at the tree, including Dr. Zeller. And apparently Zeller he wrote about this in his diary too.
Oh, wow.
But they all claim, hundreds of people and Zeller, to have seen Old Book standing by the tree. And
Wow.
and then they said that it's believed that Zeller had the casket opened to ensure that he was inside.
Make sure he was actually dead. Yeah.
and and they opened the lid and they said the crying stopped and his body was inside the
Wow.
coffin. And then they said after a few days after he was buried that the tree started to die.
Oh,
That
it's so sad.
because it's known as the crying tree. And apparently I don't know why, but they said several of the ground's crewmen tried to remove the elm and they weren't successful. And I think it's because they could hear like him crying.
Yeah.
There's like there is a sound of crying coming from the tree. And I guess it freaked them out, is my guess. And they were trying to
That
cut
would
it
freak
down.
me out if a tree started crying when I tried to cut it down.
it's
Yeah.
it's pretty nuts, dude. And they said one man tried to cut it down with an axe, but when he would hit it, like a wailing sound would come out of it, as if
Wow.
Old Book was being chopped. Um,
That's
yeah, and
crazy.
then I guess the fate of the tree was it actually got hit by lightning and finally removed at some point. Um, but yeah, that's like the the famous ghost story there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That
I
that's
wonder if your
really
I wonder if your aunt knows about that.
I'll have to ask her about that. What year was
He
Oh, he died
was,
in 1910. I'm sure it was like a lore.
yeah, yeah, and I'm sure I don't know when the tree got hit by lightning. It doesn't say in the article I read, but yeah, that's the famous one. And then there's just been stories like these are the other kind of hauntings that this guy wrote actually a really good article about the place, and I can send it to you. I'll probably post a link on the show notes.
Okay.
But it's just like he's the guy that wrote this thing like maybe this place, these ghosts aren't bad, like this is like actually was a really good place. And he posts links there. This lady wrote a couple books about this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like YouTube videos of like there's like a video that somebody posted of footage of the place from the 40s.
Oh, cool.
I'll send you the link. But
Yeah, I didn't there there's like I'm looking now at this one article and there's like paranormal investigation.
oh yeah,
I
dude.
did just watch like 5 minutes of an 8 minute thing before we got on the Zoom that
Mm-hmm.
was like very much um making it sound like an insane
I know
asylum.
that's the thing. It's like
I
when
was like, you
like,
obviously didn't do your research.
but
You're
that's what
just
they're
trying to sensationalize it.
exactly. They're just trying to get views, and that's the thing. It's this place
Yeah.
physically, like any abandoned place is fucking creepy, especially a cemetery.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but when you know the history of the place, it's not as like creepy. But there have been other hauntings, I guess. And this article says that there's been disembodied voices that people hear, and this fucking freaks me out. This is like seriously one of the creepiest things to me. Is there's a woman in white appearing in windows, like that shit freaks me out. Like people ghost
Yeah.
in windows, dude. Like
That freaks me out at like a hotel or
anything.
like
I
anywhere. I don't want to see anybody in white standing anywhere unless I'm at their wedding.
and
Like,
that movie Lady in White from back in the 80s, that movie always freaked me out, like a floating late, I don't know, man. But I'll because with my job I'm all over the place, and
right.
I've seen people just standing in windows staring. I'm like, I gotta do a double take, and it just like gives me fucking chills sometimes. Like even though it's harmless, it's just like people
Oh, it's like an
stare.
actual human being standing.
Yes, yes. And sometimes it's just like an old lady, and like, God damn, you scared the shit out of me. Like just standing in the people standing in fucking windows just staring out is just like weird as
Stop
shit.
being creeps.
Anyway, especially, oh dude, I made this delivery one time out in the country, and I go up to the front door and I look to my
Mm.
right, and there's a little girl just staring at me beside a tree, and I'm like, what the
Uh-uh.
fuck?
Nope. Nope.
And but she was super sweet and like
Yeah.
started talking
That's
to
how they
me.
get you into the fucking cellar and chop off your fucking head.
That is true, but man, it was, dude, I like probably jumped a little bit. I was like,
I've
God
watched Texas
damn.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
I
not. Nope.
She was actually really sweet. I was like,
I'm sure.
can I drive her? Is there a way to get around your house? She's like, yeah, but there's a car parked back there. So you're gonna have to, like back up here. And it's like she was actually really helpful. Helpful ghost. Um but apparently at this state hospital, there's a ghost of a girl who likes to play with dolls and was known to live in the basement of the Bowen building,
Okay.
whatever that is. And sometimes a shadow chased people up the stairs and out of the basement.
I heard about that from friends.
Really?
For sure. I remember that.
They claim this has
Yeah,
happened?
that they claimed. I'm sure that they heard about it and then wanted to recreate it somehow. I don't know that it actually happened to anybody that I know.
So that's like a
But
popular
yes,
thing. The shadow chasing people.
being chased. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
fuck that, dude. I don't want.
That's why I didn't want to go inside. Like,
I'm not
I
like
mean, for many reasons, I didn't want to go inside. Mainly, like, you don't know who's in there living,
exactly. Well,
like
yeah. That's
living or dead, living
right,
in that building,
right.
probably living, houseless and possibly,
Insane.
you know, I don't know, but
Could
it's an
be.
abandoned place to live. Whatever. Although I probably wouldn't want to live there if I knew a bunch of like teenage kids were gonna come around all the time.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and ghost hunters would show up with their film crew and fucking
I mean, I think that came much later. I don't know that that was a, as much. I mean, probably not until everybody had video on their phone
right. Well,
did
yeah,
that
true,
come
true.
as much.
There's also people say that they hear the sound of heavy boots walking around the men's ward,
Mm.
and they can't find what's causing it. And yeah, yeah, that's a lot of the happenings. But this lady Sylvia Schultz.
Oh, she's the one that made the documentary, right?
Oh, well, she wrote. Apparently, she wrote two books
Okay.
about this stuff. Um, and the article that I'll post has links to that. Um, but she like apparently goes into even more detail in her book about Old Book and other haunting things and stuff. So
Hmm.
this place does have some lore, I guess, after it shut down. Uh, yeah, and is the main building still there?
I don't think so. I think the building that's left,
Oh, it says
is
the
it the
Bowen
Bowen
build.
building?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It,
think
it says
that's the one that's left.
it says no. It says that actually it says the Bowen building was demolished in
Oh,
2017,
okay.
and there's an ongoing effort to save some buildings and preserve the stories of the
Like
his.
historical, make them
Um,
historical landmarks.
I guess, yeah. And it says you can even schedule a private paranormal investigation to see some strange activity yourself. That's
Yep.
where it's gotten.
If you look at the events page of the Peoria State Hospital Museum website,
Mm-hmm.
um, on September 6th, coming up, they have something called the Dark Fair, Faire,
Okay.
which is, it looks like an oddities, yeah, a bazaar focusing on oddities, metaphysical, and fall themed wares. And that is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on September 6th, in Bartonville at the museum building.
So
Uh,
is the museum on the property?
yeah, I think it's one of the
It's one of
one
the
of the
buildings?
63 buildings is the museum.
Oh, cool.
And then it looks like they have public paranormal tours November 15th and 16th
So you can
at
actually, yeah, you
8
can
p.m. and 12 a.m. So you
they've
can go
made
out
a
there at midnight.
Wow, they made a whole thing. They made a whole business out of this thing.
They did. It sounds like it's open on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know if it still is or if it's by appointment only. It's not like a show up every day kind of thing. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, it looks like you can go out there and book a tour.
That's
And but they try to, I mean, it sounds like they made this museum to help preserve and respect the the history and legacy of the state hospital.
right, which is great. And
Yeah.
if they got a paranormal aspect of it, that's just what it is, and that's it. It gets money, it gets people, it gets
I
people
mean,
there. It
it
draws
makes
interest.
me interested. I'm
Yeah,
interested in that kind of stuff. I want to go on ghost tours all the
yeah,
time. I
yeah.
definitely, I mean, I was in Savannah on a movie in like early 2010s.
That place is like notoriously
We
haunted.
were I was in the bookshop for the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, like
Hmm.
whatever on that square. And I was asking because I was a production assistant, so I was on lockup in the building, making sure nobody walked out into our shot.
Right.
And so I was asking the lady who works there, like, do you ever like encounter ghosts? She's like, oh yes, every day.
What?
And I was like, every day. She's like, yeah. I've had to have conversations. They're not allowed to touch me, and that there were like these, the rotating like book displays or whatever, that sometimes those moved when, and she would think somebody was in there and there was nobody there, and like she just had an agreement that they could be there but they couldn't touch her, and then I felt like some cold and I was like, okay.
What the
Like I might
hell,
not want to
man?
be in here very long.
That's just to have that be like your normal everyday
Yeah,
existence. Like you got to make a deal with the ghosts.
yeah,
Oh,
don't
it's
touch
just
me.
yeah, just don't touch me. I come to work every day, and the ghost can't touch me.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta set boundaries with humans and
And
metaphysical beings.
yes, I mean that when you step into that world, it's I mean, I haven't been to Savannah since I was a kid and I didn't know anything about it. But uh you just gotta go with the flow, man. I mean, it
That
is
place
that's
has a dark ass
their
history,
their
so
their daily life is like they're in a different bubble,
yeah,
it seems like, you know what I mean?
yes,
And you're spend a short amount of time there, I guess, if you're not into getting touched by ghosts.
yes.
I don't want dude, getting touched by a ghost is
Nope,
that's
nope.
not a ghost, right? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's all we're all in a simulation anyway, right? Like, what's real?
we're all ghosts. We're all ghosts in the machine, I guess. Um, but so next time you're back in that area, you're gonna try to go on a tour then.
Hell yeah.
Maybe
I
like why
think that
not?
that is definitely, I'm terrible about planning activities when I go home. I just got like dinner with my dad or like hang
Right.
out at my aunt's house or like try to just go over to my friend's house. And so now I'm gonna get people to come and do this with me. So yes.
So you can officially go on the grounds and not be scared
Yes.
in a
I
way.
mean, it doesn't mean that I won't be scared, but
True.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go on the midnight tour in November, but
Oh man.
I might do the 8 o'clock tour. It's
Yeah.
still dark.
Well, in the summertime when it's still light, you know what I mean?
Well, it says on November 16th, so
Oh,
it'll definitely
November.
be
Okay.
dark at 4 o'clock.
Mm,
So,
right. Yeah, 8 o'clock. It's been dark for hours at that point.
yeah. Yeah. But I think if I had some friends with me, I would go do that.
Well, that
So,
sounds. It actually sounds fun. I've never been on like a ghost tour myself, really. And there were plenty. I spent a summer in New Orleans. There's like all through the quarter. There's all sorts of cool things like that to do. I just never.
have you ever done the Shanghai tour, the Shanghai
No, the
Tunnel
shit
tour?
in Portland. No,
I also have never, but I, went to those restaurants that had the like,
I've been to
you
the
got the
Shanghai Tunnel,
cellars
the
and
bar or whatever, the club or
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, me too.
I've been down there for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely like when you first move to Portland, you have to go there
Oh, you
kind of
gotta go.
situation.
You gotta go.
That and like you hit up the strip clubs for a minute and then you're like, okay, that's over.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Like, all right, this is sad.
Yep.
Really, not sad, but
Yeah,
um,
you gotta go get food at the strip club in the daytime,
yeah.
which is I've done that with friends. Like I had a friend that he owed me money and he's like, I'm gonna take you to the strip club and buy you lunch. And I'm like, it's like noon or whatever. He's like, yep. And that's what we did.
But they had good food.
I'm like, this is fucking Portland as fuck. Like I got shrimp cocktail at the strip club.
And normally that would be disgusting, but in Portland, they pride themselves in
Hey, it was good food. It's good
good
food.
food.
Yeah, the Acropolis has like a
Yeah,
fucking
they have
like
their
they have like a
own,
salad bar or what with like a sneeze guard and everything.
but they also have their own kettle ranch.
Cattle ranch
I believe that they have their own, like it's farm to table food.
at the Acropolis.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Don't quote me, but
I do not doubt
I
this one
believe
bit.
that they have their own source of like beef.
Man, that is fucking amazing. I would love if that's true.
I
It
hope that they pay their dancers well enough for
they,
that.
they should. That is the on the flip side of that. I forget the name of the club over. It's just off downtown, like towards St. John's on the highway. It's a vegan strip club, and their famous tagline is "We put the meat on the pole, not on your plate."
I think it's devil
Devil, oh,
oh my God, people are probably yelling right now. It's fucking this. Fuck, what's you can probably
I,
just Google
I
vegan strip club Portland.
yeah, I want to say the Devil's Den, but it's not the Devil's Den. It's like
No,
anyway.
I
Uh,
know what it is. I'm looking it up right now.
I
Vegan
I drove by that place once, and there was a stripper with no shirt on the deck outside, just taking her
Casa Diablo. I
Casa
knew it was
Diablo.
devil.
Yes, but she was
I've been
out.
there for karaoke, stripper karaoke.
See, and that's just normal. Going to a strip club to just do normal bar things
I'm
in
straight
Portland.
as fuck. I wish I were gay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I went to strip clubs just for the like the food or like that's where people went to hang out.
I have girlfriends, not like girls I was dating, but girlfriends that would take me to the strip club. It was all their idea because they love because a lot of these dancers in Portland. Sorry to get off topic here, folks,
No, it's
but
totally fine.
they're like really good dancers.
Well, they're acrobatic.
Yes, they're like
Like
fucking.
the
Some of them are
pole
like
dancing
gymnasts.
is
Yes,
insane.
yes,
Like just dropping from the top of the pole. I mean, now pole dancing is like a big thing that people go and take classes and like learn
sure.
how to do it. And I finally see the like actual insane skill that goes into what they're doing
I
on
mean,
that pole.
I've watched dancers at certain strip clubs, and I'm not checking them out. I'm just like in awe of their
I know.
skill. I'm like,
Same.
God damn.
Also, most of the strippers in Portland are just covered in tattoos, so it's
That's
like they're
true.
not really naked.
That's true. That is true. But this is a pretty good segue into what I'm going to talk about,
Do you
which
call it a
is
segu?
yeah. That's well in my other show. Uh, the Doctor Donut, always says we always have a segue.
Segu. A
I don't.
segu.
It's not. I don't even think it's a real word. I don't know what.
It's a segue.
Yeah, but we call it a segue.
Segu. Okay. Thank you.
But are are you comfortable with moving on from the Peoria State Hospital conversation?
I think I am. I think that I did like I'm so happy that I had that conversation with my aunt this morning and she just has nothing but lovely things to say and
And no ghost
maybe next
stories,
time she did not experience any ghost stories.
right?
No. But I don't think she's ever like gone out there because she was an adult when she came back. Like I don't think she has ever gone out there at night to like feel haunted or whatever.
Right. And her perspective of it is not the same as a fucking ghost hunter. You know what I mean? It's
No.
like she's
Yeah,
got
she has
personal ties to the place,
yeah, personal positive
fond
memories.
memories.
Yeah, of the place.
Well, that's cool because, like, in closing, this place actually does seem like, in its heyday, like the best place for someone to be in their mental state.
Yeah.
You know, like they were doing it right,
Yeah.
and changed the perspective, and I think changed treatment in general. Um, across
Well,
the
oh, they
board.
also, just one last thing.
Hmm.
He also not only championed women, but championed an 8-hour workday.
Oh yeah, I did read about that. What about that, huh? Let's bring that
Like,
back.
really, um, didn't believe in overworking his staff, didn't believe in uniforms, didn't believe in, uh, it just, it blows my mind to think that that was something that was happening that early in the early 1900s.
Right.
Like,
That is actually pretty wild.
yeah.
And
And
yeah, when like child labor laws weren't a thing, and you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you could basically anyone could work for as long as they could and for as little pay as possible and get treated like shit. This guy's out here
paying people well,
treating people
respecting their
well,
time, treating people with mental illness like human beings,
yep,
really
give
believing that everybody has a chance.
and putting women in a position of power, like they were running wards and like
Yeah.
running stuff.
Well,
It's
I
like, yeah,
imagine now also just to like put a button on the like socioeconomic problem with shutting down. Not only did all these people get put out on the street or, the criminally insane were put into prisons, like, and not given treatment,
mm-hmm.
probably. Um, but the village of Bartonville is only like 6,000 people. Like, that had to have been a big um job market for people. Like, it's closing down
Right,
something that large
right,
has to have a huge impact socioeconomically on the people who live in that village.
for sure.
And I was reading also there was a plant that was there that closed down in 2022. So I imagine again they're dealing with socioeconomic issues of an industry completely shutting down and leaving
Right.
their small village. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the big industry. It's like the town's identity in a way. It's like probably the biggest local employer or close to it.
Yeah.
It's like woven into the fabric of the place, and then it goes
Yeah.
away, and then you got to like
You got to
pick
go
up
work
the
in
pieces.
Peoria or
Yeah,
Pekin or Morton. Like, you got to go somewhere else, which, it luckily is not that far. But yeah, when all these big industries or big moneymakers shut down,
right.
that just leaves a big hole in the economy for the
Yeah,
people who live there.
and then the patients end up homeless, sleeping in the building that they once lived in comfortably,
Right.
but with no amenities this time and no care.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, this state hospital that I'm going to talk about here is called Damish State Hospital, and it's a similar story because I was reading it's in Wilsonville, Oregon,
Okay. Okay.
which is just south of Portland. Um, it's I guess you could consider it a suburb if you want, but I'm
It's
sure,
its own.
yeah, it's its own
I
thing.
mean,
It's
there's
like
not really Portland sub. I guess there are.
yeah, like
But
Beaverton,
Wilsonville is
Tiger.
closer to the Wilsonville's like on the way to the beach, right?
It's south. It's on the I-5. So
Oh, okay.
it's I'm gonna say basically almost halfway to Salem, something like that.
Okay.
Um, but Damish State Hospital came along, and I this one woman who grew up in the area is like, yeah, there were like 800 people in the area, and then all of a sudden, there's a couple new kids in every grade, and all these people are moving here because they were working at the hospital.
Yeah.
And and then it goes away, and it whatever. So Damish started in 1961 and closed in 1995. And the reason why I'm kind of fascinated with this place is it is now a sprawling suburb called Villebois that I work in all the time. And
Ooh.
I've mentioned this before on either this show or the other one, I can't remember. But I started noticing things about the place that I was like, this is curious to me. Like, because I would make deliveries to these these houses because it's all just houses, right? It's
Right.
I forget the acreage. It is massive. It's a massive place. Um, but I would deliver to these places, and I was like, oh, somebody would answer the door that like wasn't. It was just a little off. I'm like, this, what is? And then they'd have to go get somebody, and I would like need a signature. So they would go get somebody inside the house to that work there. I'm like, oh, this is like a home for people. I'm like,
Oh,
these people,
like there's group homes.
yeah, but you could tell that they were like mental patients.
Right. There's my brother-in-law used to work as a like he would spend the night at group at it'd be a group home for people with mental disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a independent living home, but then there has to be some sort of um staff
Right. There's like
there
a
24
caretaker.
24 hours a day to like help them live independently
Right.
and make sure that they're okay and like actually taking care of themselves. And my brother-in-law did that for a couple of years.
See, that's really interesting. Um, I find that fascinating, and I just, I, I've been doing this job for like 3 years, and I'm constantly in this area, and I'm constantly delivering to this place, and every time, or it's a couple places, and I need a signature every single time, and it's interesting when the door opens to just look in and like, man, this is like these people are going through it,
Right.
and
But also, at least there's a good place for them to
yes, yes,
live.
yes. But then I also noticed that it's like an open door policy. Like they're coming and going,
Yep.
in and out. And I've seen some, and it's Villebois apparently is French for like village by the woods or something. And
Bluebell is cute as hell. I'm looking at it online right now. It's
it's
got some real
sprawling,
cute.
and it's got a very European vibe. Like a lot of
Yeah.
the streets names are like Oslo, Paris, Berlin, Orleans. Like they really play up that, and some of the architecture. Like there's one road in like what I would consider their downtown area that's like very New York with like 15-20 step stoops, and it's really tight, and they try to give it this like European vibe, like kind of Parisian sometimes.
Yeah, the architecture of some of the buildings or like the style are really
Right.
interesting.
Lots of roundabouts and shit. And it really is on the edge of the woods. Like it's on the edge of the country, right? Um, but Damish State Hospital, I'm not 100% sure, but I am pretty positive I know where the hospital itself was, and it is down in that little, like where there's like a little kind of like little town square with a fountain. And um I'm pretty sure that's where the state hospital was, and it's now like the center of the Villebois, where I was just there a few days ago, and they were having like the farmers market on the spot,
Cute.
right? So, but when you know that it used to be a state hospital that did not have a good reputation and was awful to their patients,
Mm.
and was closed because they're, yeah, I mean, so they, yeah, they were known for like tying people down and fucking giving them like inhumane conditions, basically. And there was apparently deaths linked to the place of at least 5 patients. Like I'm assuming like death by whatever treatments they were given. Um, and yeah, it ended up getting shut down. So, but there's like rumors of when they were building Villebois, like digging up bones and shit. And there, and there's of course like not many ghost stories. Like I couldn't find anything that's like it's a haunted place, right?
Yeah.
But it's got like this dark history, and there's this thriving fucking suburb on it now that with
That's
children running
cute.
around.
What movie was it? Is it Poltergeist that was like on a Indian burial ground?
Oh man, I haven't seen that in so long, but I think you're right.
Where it's like this really cute neighborhood, and then they definitely uh dug up an Indian burial ground to like
Right,
build it.
right. And this is like, it's very interesting to me because Villebois itself was, I read this 2013 article because I had to look into this place. And after they tore down the hospital and they were developing the community, they integrated intentionally mental health into the design. Like part of the funding and everything from the jump was they were to integrate housing for the mentally ill in the
In the
community.
village?
Yes,
Oh,
that
that's
was
cool.
part of the bill that they passed, that mental housing for mentally ill people would be in the community. And I noticed this organically, like, man, there's like mental patients running around here. And there's like apartment complexes with people outside smoking and they don't look right. And I don't know if any of them are like what state of mind they're in, but it's just the dynamic is fucking crazy because there are so many families there. There are so many children. There's a skate park, there's playgrounds out the ass. There's like all these families running around, very family
Yeah,
friendly.
but
There's retirees out the ass. And then there's like mental patients running around. Like, this place is wild, man.
that's also like assuming, like we have to assume that just because someone's mentally ill doesn't mean that they're a danger to themselves or other people.
Right. And there's no
And it sounds like
history.
they're doing that, which is
Right.
great.
And there's no, I can't find anything about like any instances of anything happening. So it seems like the plan is working because they're providing these homes for these people and they're allowed to come and go and they're getting, it seems like proper treatment, like maybe Zeller style treatment,
Yeah.
where they got like this nice, they got their own room, they got like a place to live, they can come and go, and they're in a normal community with, you know what I mean? Like they're surrounded by like super mundane normalcy and a lot of muppies, like
Is that the word of the day?
everywhere. Yeah,
Ah!
dude, I looked up muppies, right? Like I have this very old dictionary, and muppy, I'm like, what the fuck is a muppy? And it apparently is a middle-aged or mature professional person considered to be affluent, ambitious, and trendy.
Oh, it's a yuppie, but our age.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like an old muppy, right? So I looked up muppy. Sorry to get off track again, but this
No,
this
we love it.
term this term I googled muppy. The first thing that shows up, it's a slang term popularized by Kodak Black, the rapper, and it
Okay.
and it says it's a versatile word that can literally mean anything you want it to mean. And it says like you can say something like "Where's my muppy?" and it could mean like "Where's my phone?" And it seems it says it can also be used to express feelings. Like muppy can be like I feel good or whatever. And it's like okay, it's moved like. And oh, and then in the Urban Dictionary, muppy, first definition: a large explosive shit, usually brought on by eating Domino's pizza or drinking beer. So this
Wow.
this word has evolved.
Muppy.
This word
That
has evolved.
that's Muppy.
Anyway, but there are a lot of muppies in Villaball. I ain't gonna lie, because it's a lot of like, I mean, successful people. Uh, but yeah, so Damish, the state hospital, uh, was known for like malpractice and mistreating and doing lobotomies and shock treatment,
Yeah.
and then got shut down. Uh, but yeah, I just find it just so intriguing that this whole community that just is integrated mental health into it. And I don't even know if the people when they move in even know or even know about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're told like this is the goal.
Yeah,
Like
they're
this,
definitely not advertising it on these websites that I'm looking at that are trying to sell you on the village.
right? And it seems like that's something you would want to know just because that's your community, and that is it's this is what this place is about. Like this is a mental what it boils down to is this sprawling suburb is a mental health basically suburb that is like their focus is on mental health. That is a
I think
part
that's
of
great.
that's the fabric of the place. And it's just so interesting to me that that is a thing, and like that's so fucking cool, but at the same time it's like, man, it is just it still seems kind of wild to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm wondering what who funds those places, if they're state funded or if
Well, it
there
was
is an organization.
well, let's see.
I also just found a house that I would love to buy.
uh well, there was a bill that they passed back in like before they started building it that I think was providing the funding for these places. Um, so I don't know exactly where the money is coming from, but I think it, it must be state funded. I don't know. Um, but from the outset, I think when you first moved there, like when it first opened, I think residents were probably very well aware of what the place was. But as it's growing and getting more and more sprawling, I'm sure it's just not even mentioned. But like I said, I looked up if there's any instances of any weirdness, like if these, if because you're my first instinct is like, man, if someone's having a bad day, they can go out and just like cause problems, cause a scene at least. And there's like no reports of anything. Like there was a father and son that shot and killed each other there last year, in like
Ugh.
not in one of the mental health facilities, just in like one of the houses.
Right.
And that was just like I mean, I don't want to say a normal crime, but that was just a crime by normal people, quote unquote. uh so anyway, um yeah, it's a very forward thinking kind of place, I should say. And like I actually hated it, not because of the mental health thing, but when I was working there I was like, man, this place sucks, it's so hard to get around. And as a driver you're like, man, this
Yeah,
place is
yeah,
just
you're stuck
oh,
on like one ways and
it's
turnarounds and stuff.
it's it is very confusing, but I've come to just like I love going there now. Like I don't know why. I just like it there.
Do you think it's because you did a little bit of research and that they actually are
maybe,
like
maybe.
forward thinking
I
small
keep
town?
I keep thinking about it. You know, it's I've never been to a place like it.
I
It's
wonder if there are people that you could talk to there that would have like information on the history.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Like
Um,
stop at their visitor center.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like I wonder. I don't know how in the forefront of the mission it is anymore. Like it's obviously still a part of the place, but it would be interesting to see. Like, are they going to build newer buildings for more mental health patients? Or
I mean,
you know what I mean? Or are they just going to kind of keep it the level at where it's at and just keep building houses for families and stuff? But
I feel like funding is most likely getting cut everywhere for
oh,
that kind of stuff.
this
So,
place is constantly under construction. They're always building new houses. I've been
well,
I've been there for 3 years.
yeah,
They're
for personal use, not
yes,
for
not for mental health. Yeah, it's
right.
all they're just keep building. It like does not end at this place. But I did get on, I guess it was Reddit, or I found a Reddit thread where this person, to bring it back to like haunting
Mm.
of Damish, um this person claims, and this is a big claim. Some people say it's absolutely true, and other sources say there's no proof of like tunnels there that would connect. I think this lady says that the tunnels were connected to a nuclear bunker, and
Mm.
they've been since filled in. Like the tunnels are still down there, but they filled them in with dirt or whatever. So there's like, I mean, tunnels are always creepy, but apparently they're filled in now, but they weren't a few decades ago. And God knows what's happening under there if they were real. And if there's a nuclear bunker, I want to see this fucking nuclear bunker, man.
I do too, but also what kind of nefarious stuff has been happening?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tunnels are
Yeah,
they're bad places. Um,
especially along the I-5 corridor.
oh, dude, it's just
So many.
nothing good.
Yeah,
Nothing good.
so many serial killers up
Yeah,
there.
and speak like and this lady said in the early aught years, the early 2000s, when they were deciding to they were going to tear down damage, that they people would go into the building and find old patients in the building, like homeless, like I was mentioning,
Yeah.
like living in their old rooms.
Though it was probably, even if it was a terrible place, a sense of comfort for them.
Right. I mean, where else are they gonna fucking go? It's like you're
Yeah.
homeless and not you. I'm homeless and you're not even gonna use the building that I lived in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay here, man.
Well, that, yeah, I went to a, sorry, I am a very political person.
Okay.
Um, but I went to a, like a Bernie Sanders rally yesterday, and
Oh,
um,
nice.
he kept talking about, I mean, I love him, but also it's a lot of um talking about utopia and what we want the world to be, but not an action plan to get all these folks on board to make it happen. Like, it doesn't
Right.
feel like there's a clear path or like any kind of consensus on the left to like move anything forward right now. So, but he kept saying that we have a real housing problem, or like there's not enough housing. I'm like, actually, there's enough housing for everyone.
Right.
We just
There's
don't.
too many.
Yeah, like it's not even that there's too many, but it's just like we can't. There's so many empty buildings. There's people like money laundering, building these big um
Yeah.
condo buildings that are completely like maybe a quarter of the way filled. Like
Right.
there are places for people to live. We just don't make it affordable for them.
Not at all. And like I said, construction, I wish I was in the construction business because constantly
Constructions and
building,
weddings.
yeah, dude, it doesn't stop. I mean, they're constantly building houses, condos, apartment complexes, whatever. It's like, how does everyone not have a place to go at this point if we just don't stop building things? Like, there's got to be a room for everybody, but
Yeah,
no one can fucking afford it.
we're the richest country in the history of the world. That's the message that Bernie's putting out there, and
A bunch
we
of
have,
muppies. We're a bunch of muppies over here.
yeah, and we have the biggest wage disparity, and people are homeless. I remember I went to Cyprus. I worked on a movie in the island of Cyprus, and
Nice.
I remember being there the first week, and you're in a foreign country, you're a little scared and like whatever. And one of my friends like wandered off and didn't tell us where he was going, and I was so angry. And then uh he had been there before, and he's like, "This is like the safest place." I felt so safe anywhere I went. I felt like I could go at 2 o'clock in the morning on my own in the middle of downtown and nothing would happen to me. Somebody would offer me some food. Like,
Wow.
but they had like a very low houseless population, and the people who were like poor or without were offered food at the restaurant. Like, the owner
See,
would come out and give them
that's
food.
great.
Like, there
Yeah.
was nobody was going hungry in that country. I mean, it is politically fucked. Like, I'm not going to say
Sure.
it's a utopia in any way. There's corruption, there's definitely mismanagement, but the people took care of each other.
That's great. And it just is kind of infuriating, especially if you've worked any restaurant job. I mean, the food that just gets
Yeah,
tossed, you're
thrown.
like, fuck, man. Like, I mean, I understand throwing away food on somebody's plate that's been in their
Right.
mouth or whatever, but
Yeah.
unused
Yeah. Well, there was a whole law for a
excess.
while in California. There was, I don't know if it was in Oregon as well, but there was a fear of being sued, like on, movie sets, all the food that gets wasted on movie sets.
Mm-hmm.
There's now an initiative to take all that extra food and give it to folks on the street, homeless shelters,
Well,
and
there was that one catering company in Portland. I forget the name that they worked a lot of shows, and they took all of the extra uneaten food from set to like shelters, like they donated it.
yeah.
I forget the
Well,
name of
there
the
was an
company.
issue for a while in the state of California. I don't know if it's the same in Illinois or Oregon, but they couldn't give that food away because they were worried about getting sued, like if someone were to get sick from it.
Man, that is oh
And it's just like that is such a it's like J.K. Rowling freaking out about a man dressed as a woman coming in the bathroom to like
right.
hurt somebody. It's like
It,
really? Like that the
the threat of being
the
sued
threat of
over
that happening is so little compared to
right,
the good that would happen of
right,
feeding somebody.
right. And who in their right mind, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, would be in a position where they need free food, get sick, and then sue somebody. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
It's
like
just
really think about like doing, I don't know. It's just I'm glad that it sounds like a lot of that stuff has been cleared up and there are more programs to put unused food into the hands of people who are hungry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
like I mean, this whole conversation ties up into the houseless population too, so it is very political.
well,
Even though like it's not like your podcast is about haunting, but
oh
it's
yeah, but like I said, I was watching that video, the news program from 1982 about the houseless and mentally ill being, especially being homeless in downtown Portland, but it was uh tied into the state of state hospitals and the fact that they were shitty and they had no
yeah.
place to go and they were ending up at these sketchy ass hotels on Burnside run by fucking slumlords taking their like welfare checks from them and shit, and they just are getting no treatment walking the streets like literally crazy people nowhere to go, and then you develop all sorts of drug problems, alcoholism, yada yada, and that's it. But uh I that Villebois neighborhood kind of gives me hope that at least people are looking out and there are places to go. I don't know how many places there are to go, but it's nice to know that they're there. And
Yeah.
I don't know what like the list looks like to get into a place like that, and if there's any more anywhere in the area, to be honest. But it's a cool concept. I'm just saying, if you're a developer out there, maybe your next community can use the same kind of
Yeah.
blueprint here.
Well, if you're
But
not, there's a lot of private equity firms doing that now that don't really care about the human
they don't
aspect of
fucking care about.
things.
They don't care about shit.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
I was
But
just quickly there's one famous houseless person in Peoria named Willie York.
he's known for being homeless. He's the guy,
He's the guy. I
the
used
man
to
about town.
yeah, I used to because when I was in high school, I was in like a show choir. We would go downtown and perform.
Right.
And my dad also worked downtown, so I'd see him all the time, but he would like show up at our performances and like interrupt and but yeah, he was notoriously houseless and he served in Vietnam.
Okay.
And when he came back, he decided like people tried to offer him like he was definitely mentally ill and suffered from PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then but he was harmless. He was really lovely. He would dress in like native garb. He was a black man, and would dress in native garb. Just saying that because he wasn't a white dude doing that.
Right.
Um, uh, and in the winter time, he would just like throw a brick through a window or like commit some sort of minor offense so that he could be housed
Oh,
in
right.
prison in the
Smart.
winter or jail
Smart.
in the winter to stay warm because it's
Mm-hmm.
cold as fuck in Illinois in the wintertime.
Right.
um, but yeah, it was just like one of those examples of someone who is houseless and like, figured out a way to
Notoriously
shelter when they needed
houseless.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd heard
You
of him before?
No, no, no. I'm just saying, like, but there are other obviously local homeless people that are just legends.
Yeah.
Like you go and they're like, oh, there's this guy and this. They all got nicknames. They all got names, and people aren't afraid of them. They know them. They're like, oh, this person's harmless. And the thing about committing a crime during the winter, you figure the cops at some point would just be like, hey, man, it's gonna be a bad night. We're just gonna take you. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he had really developed relationship with I'm not a proponent of the police in any way, but I think he had developed a relationship, a positive relationship with the police in the
that's
area.
good. That's good
Yeah, and
because
they took care of him.
better than going the other way.
Yeah, he passed away a couple 6 years ago, 5 years
Oh,
ago.
damn.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Willie York. Mwah.
um, but yeah, I guess to kind of tie up Damish in the Villebois thing, there are still rumors of weirdness in the area. And people said that like when this lady was growing up, I guess before Villebois was developed, that they'd go into the buildings and find blood and writing on the walls,
Ooh.
like gross stuff. And the fact that they apparently dug up bones while developing the new sprawling suburb, it's just so.
Who dug up bones though? Was it like contractors or was it
Well,
like
I
people
I,
just
I assume so. The sentence that she wrote is, while digging up the land, they found a lot of old remains of patients that had been
okay.
secretly buried in unmarked graves because they
Oh,
had been
it's like
test subjects with no family.
the schools, the native schools.
Right.
They just like buried. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like they didn't, they were like nobodies. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they just put them in the ground or something. Unmarked grave, just bury them. And I don't know. I mean, this place opened in
There
six.
has to be some sort of haunting. There's nobody that's gone out there to
That's what I'm.
like,
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
who
okay,
is their PR? They're doing really well.
I know exactly because if you think about Peoria and Damish, Damish should have the haunting that Peoria has, and Peoria should have the clean
Yeah. The clean
reputation.
image.
Yeah, like they're total opposites, and it is kind of interesting how it is kind of just like swept under the rug a little bit in Wilsonville. There's a lady, Smith Elliott, not Elliott Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
I've hit her up. I tried to get her to do an episode about this because she did a photo project on Damish before they tore it down and got a lot of stories. And she went rummaging around, and she was actually one of my wife's photo teachers. That's how I
Oh,
found out about her.
cool.
Yeah. Um, but I'll post a link to her work because she did some really cool black and white photography of the hospital before it got torn down, like in its kind of final days, I think. But I mean, it's an old abandoned hospital. Of course, it's creepy, but the fact that now it's just like this vibrant community with happy children running around, brand new, lots of kids, like lots of new parents, lots of strollers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
a forgotten history.
yeah, but then you get that reminder when you know about the mental health aspect of the community. You're like, oh, okay, this is all this used to be, and it's just peppered in. You know, so interesting. But I've been there at night. I've been there late. I've been there at like 10 p.m., which is late for working in a fucking
Yeah.
truck, but not super late to, not in the middle of the night. I've never seen anything. I'm not going to, whatever, but it is on literally on the edge of the woods, and there's like paths and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's opportunity to, I think, find or experience some shit out there in a in a way, I think. But it's literally been like built over and built, the history's been like erased in a way. Like
Yeah.
I think people from the area obviously know the history of the land and all that stuff, but like I said, when you're a brand new resident, probably coming from Portland or anywhere, and it's like, oh, this beautiful suburb, you have no clue what you're stepping into.
Yeah.
It's got a weird history, man. So it's just like always intriguing to me.
Well, it's kind of wild. Like, I mean, the reason why people know a lot about the history of the Peoria State Hospital is because someone took care to create a museum about it.
Right.
And it looks like,
Preserving it. Yeah.
yeah, like they really did a good job of going in and preserving as much as they could about the history of the hospital. And it looks
That's
like that didn't happen.
right. Yeah. It's just the history lives on with the current work that is being done there, I guess. Like it is still a mental health facility in disguise or something. It's interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but it was torn down, right? Like, did they
yeah. No,
build something similar in it or?
no, like I said, I can't figure out exactly in the community where the hospital was, but I'm pretty sure it's like what I would call like the center of the community where the fountain is and all that stuff, where I said the market was.
Uh-huh.
There's like it's a bunch of apartment buildings down there. That's where a lot of the apartments are, bigger apartment buildings, like 3 floors.
Yeah.
And then obviously a lot of residential like row houses and things like in that area. There's a lot of people that live, like hundreds of people live literally on the spot where I think the hospital was, because it's
Oh, I
it's a
wonder
lot
if
of
they experience
apartments.
anything.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It
And I
does say,
want
I
to
think I
know.
found the Reddit thing that you were looking at. The people sneaking in and finding blood writing on the
Right.
walls.
And someone
Scary.
mentioned that there was a flagpole that it was there in 2013, I think. And I want to say that flagpole they said is the only thing that's left from the hospital, and it's still there. So when next time I go, I'm pretty sure there's a flagpole in that little square that I'm talking about. Um, but it's just so crazy because, like I said, farmers market. There's like a little coffee cart there.
Love it.
That's where like the mailboxes are for like all the apartments. It is just
Yeah.
that's where there's a fucking preschool right there, dude. It's just like
Oh man, little kids see everything, I bet you. They come
that's
home and be
that's
like,
true.
this lady was talking to me.
Because
I'm like,
they
there's no
just
lady.
they just came from nothing. They came from the oneness, and they're like so in tune with the dead because they kind of newborns are coming from the same realm in a way. Like if you believe in that stuff, that's why it's believed that children do kind of see dead people because they are freshly from like the nether.
Yeah. I
From
can't
like
remember what show I was on. It was somebody here in Chicago told me that they know that they were in Vietnam, but as a Vietnamese person. He's a black man now, but
mm,
he remembers waking up as a baby, like dying on the field in Vietnam and waking up as a baby. I was like,
what, like I'm
that's
instant.
crazy. And then he just never forgot.
That's that
Like that's wild. And he didn't strike me as a mentally like
right.
ill person. I was like, wait, what? He was so serious about it. He was not fucking with me.
So
And I find that
instantaneous.
fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really thought about that, but like instantaneous as you die, not a moment passes before you're reborn.
I mean, who
Like
knows
that's
what time is a flat circle, like he
that's
might just
wild.
not remember. But I thought that was yeah.
That's hey,
We've gotten off so many tangents and I
I
love it.
know, I
I
know,
love it. Like
and I'm
little kids seeing ghosts
yeah,
or
and
being ghosts.
I'm about to take it even to a completely different place because I got to do the exhumed excerpt, which is I get to tell you a story that has
Oh, I'm
nothing to do
excited.
with what we're talking about,
Okay,
but it's just
ready.
a historical report of this time UFOs in Japan. If you're into that,
Totally. I
it's
believe it.
I'm not going to read the whole article. Let me figure out where to stop. Oh, okay. It'll take me a few minutes to read this one, but it's I love these stories. So here, this is from the APRO Bulletin. Forget what year. Um, 76, November 76. Two reports from Japan by Vance Dewey. And I'm only going to read about the first report. So the first report was supplied to APRO by Yashihiko Honda of Osaka and was described in the Modern Space Flight Association's UFO report of September 15, 1976 as the most outstanding humanoid sighting in Japan so far. The sighting took place in Kofu on Sunday, February 23rd, 1975, about 6:30 p.m. Kofu is a
Whoa.
small city located 110 kilometers west of Tokyo in a mountainous area. The principal witnesses were two 7-year-old boys, speaking of kids,
Kids?
seeing weird shit, Masato Kono and Katsuhiro Yamahata, who were roller skating on a paved area next to an apartments near Kono's home. Yamahata was the first to notice a strange light in the sky. As the boys watched the light more closely, they saw that there were two clear orange-colored lights approaching from the east. The larger light made a turn to the north toward Mount Otago, while the smaller light continued toward the boys with an irregular motion. When the light was near them, they heard a tic-tac sound from it. The boys hid nearby and watched the light fly about until it went out of sight. Thinking they had seen the last of it, the boys started home. Yamahata then noticed that the light had landed in a vineyard a short distance beyond Kono's home. At first, they thought it was a fire in the vineyard, but as they approached, the light took off to a considerable height, then landed again near the center of a grapevine trellis. The boys described the object as about 5 meters in diameter and about 2 meters high, and of a typical domed saucer shape with 3 hemispherical landing feet. From a distance, the UFO appeared to be a clear, luminous orange color, but from 1 meter or less, the surface was observed as silver colored. Sounds like a typical,
Mm.
UFO here.
Yeah,
On
what you
the
picture.
yeah, idyllic UFO sighting here. On the side of the craft, Kono found 5 large Oriental appearing but unknown characters raised on the surface and 4 more characters on the opposite side. While Kono was examining the characters, Yamahata started to walk around the craft. When he reached the opposite side, Kono heard a clatter from inside the craft. The craft opened and a ladder extended silently to the ground. A humanoid wearing silver colored clothing and carrying an instrument resembling a rifle or shotgun descended the ladder close to Kono. He described the humanoid as 1.3 meters tall with
What
dark
is that? That's tall. Is that really tall? That's really, no, that's not
uh
really tall. That's
it's
short.
like it's like three a little over 3 feet. um
That's super short.
yeah,
Like,
probably shorter than, or probably about the same height as the 7-year-old, maybe a little shorter. um with dark brown skin, pointed ears, no eyes, nose, nor mouth, and walking with his toes turned outward. Fucking creepy. Yeah. There were wavy wrinkles all over his face and 3 silver colored fangs, about 5 centimeters long, pointed down from the usual position for a mouth. Dude, he's got a grill going. Silver colored fangs.
what the okay.
The head was remarkably large compared with the body and was completely bald. When Yamahata came around the craft near the humanoid, he and Kono were both able to look inside and saw a second similar but smaller humanoid seated with one hand on what appeared to be a control lever. The boys became frightened and started to run away, but the humanoid patted Yamahata twice on the left shoulder. The boys turned around and had a closer look at the humanoid's face. The humanoid spoke to them in a voice resembling a tape recorder running too fast or in reverse.
Oh, like Bob from is it Bob? No, who is it from Twin Peaks?
Oh yeah. Damn, that's been a while.
Where
I wonder.
he speaks in reverse.
That's right. That's right. That's creepy, man.
And he's like 3 feet tall. But
Damn, I want
he's not
Lynch.
bald and yeah,
Lynch probably read this report.
he probably did.
The boys then ran to Kono's home about 100 meters away and found Yamahata's parents there also. When Kono tried to tell the adults that a UFO had landed in the vineyard, he was told not to talk nonsense. But when
Yeah.
Yamahata said the same thing, the mothers went outside with the boys to look. They saw the luminous orange light shining in the middle of the vineyard. Since they were still more than 50 meters away, the mothers thought they might be seeing an illusion caused by a light in a house on the far side of the vineyard appearing to be closer. Just then, the orange light began pulsating rapidly, then suddenly became bright, then dim and disappeared. They went to the spot where the light had been, but in the dark could not find any positive evidence that anything had been there. Following this initial report, further investigation was conducted by the Japan Space Phenomena Society. We hope the results of this additional investigation will be available to present in a later issue.
Have they? When was that written?
1976.
Well,
So,
that's when it happened, but that was written in 1976, and there's never been any follow-up.
I'd have to look at the next issue or
Ah,
any following any. This is from November 1976. So I'd have to like do some research and see if there was a follow up in any of the
I
subsequent
want to see an
issues.
illustration of what they think it looks like, because in my brain, I'm seeing a giant, dark skin, wrinkly, eyeless,
Noseless mouth,
noseless, mouthless
but
face with fangs
and
for the
pointed ears
mouth and pointed
and a
ears.
massive head compared to its body. Like this thing is fuck. These things are weird as
And
shit.
that it like did it benevolently tap him on the shoulder?
That's
It
the
doesn't
thing.
sound like it was scary. I mean, it sounds
It's
like it was scary, but not like threatening.
yeah, it wasn't like trying to abduct them, it seems. But it I want to know what shape of the head, or what was it, a like
Yeah.
a round? Did it look like a thumb? Like
Well, because what we have been told that like Martians are your typical like
almond
what like
shaped eyes and
from this
fucking.
American Dad alien dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, like
Uh
a typical gray. Yeah, big
American Dad.
head.
I don't know why I called it this Oh, because I was listening to This American Life yesterday.
This American Dad, I love
This
it.
American Dad. Um, that like
Roger, his
bulbous,
name
yeah,
is.
Roger, like the bulbous gray
Right,
like head with giant eyes,
long arms, big hands.
and small body.
Right.
That's what I'm also picturing like an Ewok, but hairless.
I kind of I don't know if you've seen Enemy Mine with Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid. Um
No.
it's a great movie, but I'm imagining Louis Gossett Jr.'s alien character, like the texture and color of the skin, but without like a mouth and eyes and nose and but I see like the
Oh, I see.
texture of that's what
Yeah,
I'm envisioning a little bit.
okay.
But it's
Well,
nothing
but
you want
that's
to
like a
run into.
lizard
It's
face.
it's lizardish, yes. It's like lizard like.
Interesting.
That's what I
But
kind of
but if
picture.
it didn't have eyes or a mouth and just had fangs where the mouth would be.
Fucking Paul Wall grill fangs,
Oh,
just
on that same movie that I worked on in Savannah, Louis Gossett Jr. was in it.
hmm. What,
I got to sit with him.
dude? You are so lucky.
He was a very old man then.
Yeah, he's great. I would have loved to work with him.
I think he just passed
I
recently, but
know he
yeah,
legend,
he was a really nice man.
legend.
It was a silly movie.
What movie was it?
Oh, I can't even remember what it was called. It was Milo Ventimiglia was in it, and Andy McDowell. What a party. She's amazing. She was like, we all went to the bathroom together and she was just like cheerleading in the bathroom and like she was so
Nice.
fun. Uh it was oh, and then Logan Browning, who is in Dear White People. She's the main character in Dear White People. She was also in the Bratz movies.
Uh,
She played this like demon character that ends up she wasn't a demon. She had actually been like raped and murdered by the main character.
she's a ghost.
She's a ghost. It was like very Ring like
Oh, okay.
her character, and she was very method the first couple weeks because she was in all this like face paint and stuff, and so she was not really talking to people, and so everyone was like, she's kind of weird, and
She's in it.
then she was like herself for the last like 2 weeks, and it was great.
Yeah, it's like a bit
I was
disarming. You're
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
she's gorgeous and wonderful and like so kind, and she was such a weirdo the first 2 weeks.
yeah, man. That's what an interesting character to just like be for however many
God, what
days.
was that movie called? We made a joke because the main character, it was basically like financed by the lead actress who was like this Brazilian woman. She was gorgeous and kind, but she was not a good actress. And
That's how it always works.
it was financed by her very ugly, rich billionaire boyfriend.
Mm,
Um,
a muppy, a straight muppy.
straight, well, he's more than a muppy. Um, but yeah, it was a wild movie. I was
Nice.
a production assistant and I think I slept maybe 3 hours a night. So meaning I didn't really stop
Sleep.
working
Yep.
because I was
That's
working in my sleep because
that's the film industry.
I was constantly freaking out. Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough, I would
But
never do that again.
worth it because you got to hang out with Louis Gossett Jr.
And Andy
and
McDowell.
Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Milo Ventimiglia. He was a nice guy.
I don't think I know who that is, but I will have to
If
look it
you,
up.
yeah, you do.
If I see him, I'll know.
He's Rocky's son in the like,
Oh,
and then
Rocky
he's
Five.
also, if you watched This Is Us, he is the dad in This Is Us. He's the main character.
Okay, I definitely know. I've seen like the first season of This Is Us. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the like the dad that dies, and you don't find out how he dies until like season 3.
okay, I will possibly revisit. I just remember that show being so dramatic. I'm like, I can't
It's
handle this.
very,
I can't handle
very.
this.
It's also a lot of flashing back and
Yeah,
forward, and
this is too much for me.
if you talk about underground tunnels and bunkers and such, there's the same creator of This Is Us made a show with Sterling K. Brown called fuck, what is it? Um, but it basically touches on what happens when the world ends and the billionaires are in a bunker.
Yeah, and the under the Denver airport, which was my last episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened to that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Steve. He hit me up. I gotta
Why
text
can't
him.
I
He's
think
got
of
a follow-up report on that.
Ooh.
I
Well,
gotta
I'll
call
have to
him.
follow up if I go on the ghost tour at
I was gonna say if you
Peoria
go on that,
State.
we gotta do a follow-up of what you saw. Sometimes I wonder about those. Like, do they get kitschy and try to fabricate things like a sighting, make sounds,
We'll find out.
put
I'll let
put
you
people in the
know
woods to move around
to scare
to
you.
scare you?
Oh, it's called Paradise, the TV show about the under the airport in Denver.
That that's the show about
The show
literally
is
about.
called Paradise. It stars Sterling K. Brown, who was a Secret Service member when the
Huh.
world ends.
And it's literally takes place under the Denver airport.
Yep.
Fuck, that's awesome. How did
Yeah.
Steve and I not come across this? And
But it's the same I mean it's a fictionalized version,
right,
but I do believe that
or is
uh
it?
yeah, I do believe that it might exist. But it is made by the same person that made This Is Us. So the storytelling mechanism is a lot of back and forth from
Right.
present day to
I like
past.
I like that. It's just
Yeah.
this is us was just so dramatic. It's just
Well, I
like
mean, I
fuck.
never finished it because it
It's
was too.
intense. It's
Once you find out
intense.
how he dies, I'm like, oh, I don't care anymore. Okay,
God, it's like every episode. These actors are like
giving it
you got to
their all.
cry like every scene. It's just crazy.
It was one of those shows because I used to watch Parenthood too, and Parenthood would do that to me. It was like funny, but then also like heartwarming, and so you would find a point that you were crying at every episode.
But it's like the actors and actresses, they have to cry like every episode. Is that's got to be
Yeah,
taxing.
yeah,
My
yeah,
God, it's like
yeah.
fuck,
That's what
that's
they get
hard.
into it for, right?
That's
Like
hard.
it's work.
That's hard. Well, speaking of movies, you have a podcast.
I do.
You wanna promote?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I have a podcast called Company Move. You can listen to it on all platforms. Um, Jason was a guest
That's
on season one.
that's right.
I have just started releasing season two, and the premise of the podcast is that I interview people who have successfully, or maybe not yet, successfully exited the film industry and kind of talk to them about how they got into film, what their experience was finding a new job, and then what their life is like now, and any kind of advice that they can give to folks looking for a career change. It's, centered around people in the film industry, but I think um, it's evergreen enough that anybody looking to make any kind of life change can give it a listen and still learn. And there's a lot of inside baseball, but we try to make sure that we explain the ins and outs of what we're talking about and what the
Hmm.
positions were in film.
Right.
And then this season, I've interviewed a lot more experts. Or like I have a friend who is an author, wrote a book about, side hustles while he was, he's a musician, and, you know,
Right.
you don't get paid on Spotify for
Right.
your music anymore, and you're not doing record sales, so you have to find a way to diversify your life. And so, interview with him, interview with another friend who's a life coach. I interviewed a recruiter to talk about what they're looking for in resumes when they're
Nice.
interviewing.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, there's, a friend of mine became a lawyer, another friend became a therapist, and just kind of at different points of their journeys right now. So this season was definitely a little bit more broad than last season, but
I was gonna say I've been enjoying the new episodes because I listen to them when they come out, and it's like, yeah, it's you've diversified the outside of the film industry to other essentially creative people. These are all creative minded folks navigating their way through life, trying to find the jobs that they want.
yeah. I
uh
mean, the fact that we have to work sucks, but
yep.
we might as well try to find something that works to allow us to have the work-life balance that we need to be able to be full
Right.
human.
What I like your podcast, even if people don't know about the film industry or even care about the film industry, it is uh nice to hear people's stories of transition, especially in later age, middle age.
Yeah.
Because like me and multiple guests of yours had career changes like in our 40s, basically,
Yeah.
which is not ideal, but people are going through it now, and to hear someone's they're all success stories to me.
Yeah.
To hear someone's story of successfully transitioning out of something that wasn't working for them anymore and finding something that they like even better is inspiring to anyone, I think. So it's cool.
Yeah, thanks,
It's
man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely daunting, and I think especially for those who don't know what's happening in the film industry right now is that we've been through a pandemic and then two strikes
Mm,
with the writers and the actors, and even though our, crafts people were not on strike per se, we couldn't work because there was no crossing a picket line.
right.
Um, so because of that, and because of I mean, I don't know exactly why, but I mean, I think what's happening politically in our country right now is so volatile. Like a lot of these companies are taking jobs overseas
Right.
because there's no healthcare that they have to pay. There's not a whole lot of union representation that they have to fight with for wages. So a lot of these productions are taking work overseas to London, to Czechoslovakia, to Lithuania. Like they're
Right.
going other places. So the work just has not come back for us in the US to the level that we're used to. Like I personally maybe would go 2 weeks without a phone call.
That's a long,
Um,
yeah.
like back in the day, when I was first starting out or whatever. And I moved to Chicago, which is a smaller market, but there's still lots of work here. And um, I wasn't getting phone calls. I worked 5 weeks on this upcoming season of Monster, which is focusing on Ed Gein, which
Mm,
there's a lot of dark shit, and
right.
actually took place in a mental institution the last like half of the
Let's
movie
get
or
into
TV
it.
show. The last part of the TV show takes place. So when it comes out, I don't think I can say anything now, but
Right.
when it comes out, we can talk about it. But uh from that wrapped in April. I didn't get another phone call, a single phone call until the end of June. And that was just
Dang.
because someone got injured and needed a coverage.
That's slow.
That's
That's
really slow. That's
that's
a lot
crazy.
of time. And I luckily, I mean, I wasn't reaching out because I actually got hired to I'm working full time at a like wedding events company right now.
Hmm.
And that's going well and I hope that it continues, but yeah. It's
It's
it's a little daunting to not get a phone call for almost 5 months.
that is crazy, and a lot of people here in the Portland area are leaving town, like literally moving
Yeah,
to
there's
Albuquerque or Atlanta, like places that are busier, and
right.
they have fallen in with a crew. A lot of people here are like, yeah, I got to go to LA, which is slowed down a lot, but they'll get a job in LA, and like, I got to go to LA for a few weeks and then I'll be back. But
Well, and
it's
a lot of people
people
left
aren't
LA because
wasn't
it's
shit.
so expensive and there wasn't enough.
Right.
I mean, I moved back to Chicago mainly to be closer to family, but there were lots of other factors of like wanting a normal life and
Right.
like, you know, uh it it's luckily working out right now, but I mean, yeah, it's
Well,
just so the goal of the podcast is to supply a little bit of hope to folks who are looking for a change in their life and that it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter if you think you're not capable, you have skills and they will translate
yes.
to something that you're interested in. And it's just a matter of being able to organize the language of those skills into a resume that will get seen and recognized.
Right.
I mean, we also are living in a world that the job industry is trashed right now in general. Like the
Yeah.
job market is just like
Yes.
really rough. So, um,
Yes.
yeah, just
So
trying to put a little hope out in the world.
yeah, we need it. So it is nice hearing people's stories, because I mean, when you're adulting as hard as we are,
Yeah.
it's all about the job. I mean, that's your life, right? Besides like your family, it's your work. So
That's where you spend most of your time, so you better
tell me
try
about
to
it.
like it. Try to like
Tell
it.
me about it. If you can, yeah, if you can, like it's like with my job, I love my job on good days. I hate my job on bad days, but it's the best job. It provides them more than I could have ever dreamed of. So it's just like that's it. I'm gonna retire from this fucking. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Stability.
yeah, it's in at some point, it's like I'm not gonna be doing what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do, but I got a good job and I'm happy with it. And I'm just, that's my lot in life.
Yeah.
You know, I still got my shit that I like to do, like this and music and things like that, but I'm not going to be making any money off of it. So, which is fine. I never have, but,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, since I started this job, I have free time. I can meet friends on a
and that's
Thursday
important.
night.
Yeah.
I started taking guitar classes at Old Town School of Folk,
Oh,
so I can
nice. Fuck
go. I
yeah.
mean, I've been playing guitar since I was 18, but I just haven't really progressed. So it was
Yeah.
kind of nice to like
Yeah.
also just have a group of people to play with
Yep.
and the classes aren't very expensive, but I can go. I can get there by
You got
6:30.
the
I can get there
time.
by 8. Like
Fuck yeah.
it's not, yeah, I have flexibility
That's
in
important.
my schedule to be able to do that. So it's kind of cool.
Great. Well, you've
Yeah.
inspired me to play guitar today. I'm going to do
Yeah. I should
that.
probably do the same.
Cool. Well, thanks for being with me, Rennie. I'm glad you were here. I will hit you up again for sure.
Awesome.
If there's anything else you want to talk about, I love having repeat guests. I like having good people on the show. I don't care how many times they're on the show.
I
So,
really want to know more about that Tokyo UFO
oh,
sighting too. I'm about
all
to
right.
do some research. I'm about to go down a
It might be hard to find. I'll try to look in the next issue, the next couple issues of the Apro Bulletin, and see if they did a
I'm gonna
follow
draw from memory
up.
what I think
Yes,
that
dude.
that dude looks like, because I'm
Man,
calling him a dude.
yeah, I assume it's a dude too. But this Apro Bulletin and a lot of these old basically zines, UFO magazines, they have such great artwork. And but unfortunately, this one doesn't have a depiction of the humanoid, which is unfortunate. But
I'm gonna draw the most rudimentary drawing and send it to you.
man, yes, you should. And I've got like these old UFO magazines that have the coolest fucking art, dude. It's just,
I love it.
it's so awesome.
All
Where,
right, man. Thanks for having me on. This is really fun.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for being here, and we'll be in touch. I'll talk to you as soon as we possibly can talk.
Sounds good, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right,
All right,
bye.
bye. Okay, there it is. There it was. Thank you, Rennie, for being here with me. That was a very delightful discussion, and I did try to look in a few issues of the Apro Bulletin that came soon after the one that I read out of, but the online archives aren't as tight as they used to be, and I can't find every issue. So I didn't find a follow up story about that. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what happened. we'll just, we'll just leave it be, right? We'll let the mystery be on that one. But yes, everyone, check out the Company Move podcast. It is excellent. I listen to every episode, and she's doing a great job. So hopefully she'll come back and we'll discuss some more weird shit. And as promised, here's me and Steve X. Here's his Denver airport update. Let's get into that. Woo! What's
Indeed.
up?
Hello. What's up?
Mm, not much. Just drinking the best thing you could drink for recording, which is soda water.
Nice.
So there might be some burps coming your way.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to open ginger ale, but I don't know if I was going to be rude on the microphone, so
Just let it pop, man.
let it pop. Oh man, I feel like a rap star when you say things like that.
Ooh, you should always feel like that.
Yeah.
It's probably a good way to feel,
Yeah.
whether it's justified or not. I'm sure it's a
This is
great
a
way to feel.
yeah ginger ale lifestyle.
Well, what's going on?
Well,
A
I
lot
feel
has
like
happened.
yeah, a lot has happened. There's a lot to go over, and I have like visual aids, so
Oh, what?
pretty much I'd have some pictures that I'm going to text you, and I think I kind of have to pick up where the story left off, right? Where I was going to Denver, Colorado for a couple of hardcore shows for the Youth Attack showcase. So it was like 10 bands. I also went to like Meow Wolf. These were all kind of like side attractions to the real thing, which was the Denver airport, right? And I feel like I couldn't believe that you and I talked for like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour period
Yeah,
about the airport,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's
It's
probably
a,
like we could have had a 2 or 3 parter, I'm sure. Well, I guess would be
this
technically
part
part
two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't even touch. I mean, we were just scratching the surface.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the irony is I didn't get to see the artwork. That was the worst part of the trip.
The mural.
The mural, yeah. So I think it's because basically we spoiled ourselves. We gave ourselves away and they hid it from us. I think that our podcast episode, it
Well,
spoiled everything.
was it what I was saying? Like there was a bunch of construction and they've been moved and you couldn't locate them. Is
Right.
that what happened?
Yeah. And so, yeah, on the way to the airport, I was just pretty desperate to get out of there because of delayed flights and all this kind of stuff. So what I did see was a lot of construction and no art. And I feel like it was like the majority of like probably the west side of the building was under construction. So it was like just hard to get around anywhere, let alone, try to see the artwork. But
Mm-hmm.
I did, text you the picture of the top secret door, but it was just, I think it was just security, just normal looking security people coming in and out, TSA,
It's a it's a disguise.
Yeah.
There's some like what do you call it? Men in Black style. It's like aliens in human like skin suits.
Yeah. I
You
think that's
know,
fair.
the
I'm going to
Vincent
text.
D'Onofrios of the airport.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I did have a series of bad luck with the airport. So, canceled flights, all this kind of stuff.
What? Just from
Yeah.
going from Cali to Denver?
Yeah, for sure.
What the fuck? That's
And
awful.
I think it was by design. I think, again, they
They
are
knew.
after us.
They knew what
So,
you were up to.
yeah.
They knew what you were coming for, and
Yeah.
they were trying to fluster you, and
Yeah.
just like putting you on hold for 3 hours or more, and then accidentally hanging up on you when you're trying to, get good customer service or maybe a refund with something. They try to
Mhm.
frustrate you into giving up.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I was like shocked I didn't see like the advertisements with the aliens. I didn't see any crazy merch. I'm a huge fan of merch, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see like a single reptilian thing in the airport. So, I mean, my impression of Denver Airport is just awful at this
Mm.
point. It was just kind of just a bad experience all around. And I'm just going to blame it on the Illuminati because it's like, it does feel like, talking so much shit, maybe things might get elevated at this point between us and them. But I feel
Wow.
like, yeah,
Shots fired.
shots fired. Yeah. And
So none of the construction banners that I was talking about,
no,
you didn't see any of them?
no, I went
I wonder
through
if
the baggage claim
no
because they lost my
gargoyles.
bag. There was no gargoyle. There's
You're
so
fully.
they just kind of like stripped the whole thing down. It was really disappointing. So I'm sorry. I feel like we hyped up the airport,
Did they
but
really lose your bag?
they did. Yeah. And yeah, that was just part of the trip. But I mean,
Like lost it?
I eventually got it back.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is good. But
Hmm.
at the airport, just they redirected my flight 5 times, so I was up and down the terminal. It's just a whole thing. I'm not going to complain about that, but I feel like the lesson I learned is that if you take Denver Airport and Denver as a whole at face value, I think that's kind of what you get is just like whatever. This place is just kind of like whatever. It's under construction. It's
Mm-hmm.
like uh but if you scratch at the surface, I think that you kind of get the same spirit of what's really happening, the true pulse of where the Illuminati is. It's not in the airport. It's all around Denver. And where I found it most was at the Youth Attack showcase. And I have some supporting claims.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
So I'm going to text you. I also found proof at Meow Wolf, but I'll back that up at a
Oh yeah, I
different
bet.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first, I know you're a huge t-shirt art fan, so I want to get like a live reaction,
Okay.
uh, your opinion. So I'm going to text it to you. The band is the consequence. They were the highlight of the showcase, and it was just like really young kids, and they just really, really nailed it. And I think I had the most punk experience with this band where I went to go like buy a shirt, and then the other band started, and he went to go mosh, like he jumped out of the merch booth to go mosh. And then when he came back, he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just like keep the shirt." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And so this is that shirt. And so I'm gonna text it to you. So hopefully we can get a live reaction.
Let's see
Um,
here. How long? I mean, if I don't get it, it could be part of this theory of yours because it should
yeah,
take -2 seconds to get a text message nowadays. But in
I
our
think
case,
the
you
yeah,
never know.
my we're encrypted satellite stuff here, so we got a slight delay here. So
Okay, so I'm looking at this t-shirt. There is a lot going on here.
there's a lot going on.
I'm and I'll post. We got to post these pictures so people know what we're talking about. There's a woman that looks like she's pissing herself in the corner, shackled to an egg that's got a serpent wrapping around it, and
A lot going on.
something that could be vagina is up in here, and a guy kind of breaking through a cinder brick wall, like not even just a guy. That looks like um
Exactly. What does that look like?
that looks like, I mean, my initial reaction was Swamp Thing,
Okay.
like
Would you say it? Maybe.
reptilian.
There we go. There it
It
is.
is reptilian
It's right
me.
there.
To me,
It's right
well,
there.
and there's also this snake, the snake thing going on. This, it looks like it's going in. The snake's coming out of a portal or into a portal, and the
If you look
chain.
closely, the snake turns into a chain, which
It,
is
the snake turns
enslaving the
into a chain.
human.
That's right.
When the human is either pissing themselves or shitting themselves or something.
Yeah, but you see where it's coming in or out of that portal there above to the top left of the egg, or it's like,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a portal.
I don't know. I feel like basically we're seeing like the lore we wanted to see in the Denver airport, but instead we're seeing it in like the best Denver hardcore band,
Mm,
which is The Consequence.
mm.
Just if we haven't said it yet, please
Also,
go check out The Consequence. They're fucking crazy good.
and they're from Denver,
They're from Denver,
so
local. Yeah.
it's
Everyone
just,
at the label was like a local band. So it was like,
oh,
it's just like 50 people at a bar. So it wasn't like some crazy festival or anything like that. It was just, locals only. And I'm the only fucking idiot that drove out to or flew out from California to go see it. So I was that guy if you were there.
that
So
makes you the coolest.
I don't know about that, but it was a lot of fun. But I mean, I feel like that's just like one piece of the puzzle, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, at this point, if they're from Denver, you got to imagine these images and these stories have got to just be like in their DNA,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that's, the whole thing where it's kind of like the whole lore of the culture kind of becomes, this is the underground version of it. But last time we were talking about like the consumer version of it, where you have, waving Sasquatches on every corner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it just kind of, it's more of like representative of the like the super ego kind of thing,
Mm,
the collective consciousness, as they
mm-hmm.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like they, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of, I just went and saw Gone to Croton this weekend.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
Mikey, for people who don't know, I used to be in a band called Gone to Croatoan or Crow or Gone to Croton or whatever you want to call us. And Mikey he didn't reform it. He just started a brand new band with Kevin from Hondo, with from Honduran, my other old band, and with another guy that I've never met on bass. And they played their very first show with Corey from Honduran and Josh and Maximilian's new band. Well, they're not new, but sold.
Yeah.
And Vern from Prize Hog, who's had Trigger Object as her solo thing. Got to see them all play Saturday at Gabriel's. Gabriel Taylor, Gabe, Resident Madman. It was at his speakeasy in Southeast Portland. Anyway, Gone to Croton without the second O is what Mikey named the new band.
Oh dang, he didn't let you know beforehand?
Oh no, he asked.
Okay, all right.
He asked me if he I guess he asked for my blessing because he's like, I can't think of any good band names.
Mm-hmm.
And he always wanted us to drop the second O anyway because it was too confusing. So he did it. So him and Kevin are in a new band called Gone to Croton.
That's awesome. Are they going to have any recordings or anything?
No, I'm sure they've got videos and little. Mikey records their practices and puts up little like vignettes and little snippets and stuff on what's he on Instagram?
Okay.
I'll send you.
I'll check that out.
I'm not on Instagram, but I think I remember his handle. I think it's Gone. I can't fucking remember. It's something Gone to Croton. I just can't remember how he spells it. But anyway, check out that old band because Steve did all the artwork and the logo for this show. I'm sure I've mentioned it. The alien fucking Jesus
Classic.
Steve designed that. That's Steve, and it was gone. It was gone to Croton's old artwork on our inside of our first 7-inch, which was called They, which is what Steve referenced earlier that set this whole thing off.
Backstory.
All right. So anything
So
else?
here's a segue. So I mean, I feel like that was such a great record. Alien Records did like the cool alternate version, right? And
Yeah.
like limited art, black on black.
Right.
And it had like the more
of They record. Yeah.
yeah. And so it had like this kind of like different version and different kind of pieces of art. And I thought that was cool. And I think that's part of my DNA. Part of my creative DNA is like really inspired by Youth Attack and like all the art they do and stuff like that. So, and part of the show is like getting the crazy limited merch for me. I love going to the airport and finding alien merch. I love going to hardcore shows and finding like limited weird merch. And
Okay.
Youth Attack does the best weird merch. But this one's not that weird. I'm going to text it to you.
All right.
It's a zine it's like talking about the recording of the new Mangled State record, which is really, really, really good. Learn to Suffer. And I'm gonna
Oh,
text
I'm
it to you
learning.
right now.
I'm fucking learning every
I mean,
fucking day.
it's a life lesson, right? We gotta learn it.
It's very, very Buddhist of them,
I think so too. Yeah.
you know. All right,
It's
Mangled
part of the
State.
thing.
Mangled State. Let's
Okay.
see. What do we? Oh, hand stamped number 32 of 33.
And do those numbers sound familiar, Jason?
Shit. Now that you mention it, yeah, they do.
Why is that?
Because we were talking about the 30. What was it? The top level of the Masonic Lodge is
Yeah.
33.
Yep.
And didn't you think it was 32?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I was doing all the math and it ended up being 36 or something.
Something like that. But I
Anyway,
mean, the truth is right there in your
yeah,
face.
you got number 32 out of 33.
It's
But
true.
why did they do 33?
And who got 33? Top copy. That's the rare one, right? When you get
Yeah,
number 33 out of 33.
who
But
did
I
get it?
mean, yeah, so I feel like that was just another little nugget in there. So, also kind of a segue, another thing I was really excited about going to in Denver and turned out really cool was the Meow Wolf exhibit. It was a lot different than the other ones. I don't want to spoil any of them because they're each unique and really awesome. But I would say this one is second best of the three I've been to. But it was really cool.
Which ones have you been to? Like Santa Fe, Vegas,
Yeah,
Denver?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I've only been to the Vegas one, and
That one's really cool.
it
Yeah.
was great. Yeah,
I think the Santa Fe one was the first one, and at the time the only one that existed, and that was the first I went to. And I went into it blind, and it was just kind of like this really awesome thing that I had never really experienced before. So I try not to spoil it for anyone, but if you have not checked out Meow Wolf and are in Santa Fe, you should definitely
absolutely.
do that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
and hit up Dr. Donut when you're there. We went to college with some of the people who started that.
Tell me
Um,
more. I
I
really
I
am. I'm curious.
I can't remember who they were. Like when you tell me when I hear some of their names, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that name. But they're like some of the original people who started that are like good friends with some of my good friends, and
Yeah,
I'm not an artist, so I wasn't like in the art world, but it was a smaller college community, and I definitely recognize some of the names of
yeah,
people that were involved or are involved in that community from the beginning, and it's such a cool like success story in a way. But I don't know. There's all sorts of different layers. They've gotten so big,
yeah.
it's kind of
They've definitely
wild.
reached that like commodified, like copy paste kind of thing,
Mm. Yeah, I don't know much
Um,
about it. The story from the beginning to what it is now. I know they've hit some interesting. Uh, I don't know. They had some interesting times where people were, I don't know, not so stoked on them for a second. For some reason or another, I can't remember what that whole thing was. but I don't even know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter. But I've been to Meow Wolf in Vegas, and I was very impressed. And
That's awesome.
I don't know who does what inside of the places. I just don't. I'm just always in awe of
Yeah.
anything that's just like so well thought out and so well executed. Like it's just and it's so fun, and it does feel like Alice in Wonderland sometimes. Like you're just like you can't believe where you are. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty special.
Yeah. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, go
So
ahead.
I texted you two images from
Okay.
the Meow Wolf in Denver, and it was
Go
like
ahead.
on a on a DVD shelf. And so it wasn't like part of like the official art, but it was just like, some graphic designer somewhere had fun with this, I imagine.
I feel like
And
everything in there is intentional,
okay,
right?
yeah. Most likely, I'm sure it's like a tie-in character. Like, I don't know I forget what the title is.
Masonic Secrets of the Yawp.
Okay,
YAWLP. That's the name of the movie or the documentary. And then there's a quote on the back that's from James Knox, host of Midnight After Dark. Fans of paranoid, inarticulate yelling will yarg this film. Yeah, this is somebody made this up.
yeah.
That's pretty funny. Should I
Yeah, it's
read the
pretty
whole
awesome.
blurb about on the back?
Sure.
It says, ever since George Washington laid the cornerstone of the New World Order,
True.
mankind has been locked in a sinister chess, or no, locked in sinister chess game that has taken hundreds of years to play out.
True.
Yarg! Now the pieces are moving into place within strike distance of our king. It appears the most powerful pawn on the board, the Yawp, is under direct Masonic mind control. There's just a bunch of A's, capitalized A's. This nail biting expose asks the hard questions. Why is there Yawp imagery in ancient Amiens cathedrals? Why did 33 Yawp sculptures suddenly appear in the swamps of the convergence? How can we take back what's ours before it's checkmate?
Yeah. I think the best part is there's like the little award, like olive
Oh
branch
yeah.
things are on the top, and
Yeah.
one of them says official selection. Topher's Basement Man Cave Spooky Movie Night Top 5.
Top five. That's pretty good.
But I mean, if you look at this, it like the first thing when I picked it up was like, oh, like I have to tell Jason about this because it looked exactly like the whatever, planet. What's the DVD series? Oh my gosh, what's it
Oh,
called?
Horizon Project.
Yeah, the Horizon Project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just like a really good like call back to that graphic design style and is well done. Well done
It,
for sure.
it is funny. It says on the very bottom. It says the government ratings system is a conspiracy instead of having a rating. And then in the other bottom corner, it says runtime is an meaningless concept perpetuated by aliens.
Yeah.
And then it also was an official selection in the Convergence Street Interdimensional Film Festival, which
Hmm.
I would go to in a heartbeat. Yeah,
Yeah, that
man.
sounds awesome.
Dude, that's the thing with Meow Wolf. I feel like, I mean, I think every single thing is intentional.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sure there has to be some documentary. If maybe if there's someone out there listening to this, please get in touch so I can make a documentary about Meow Wolf people and how it became, because that's actually interesting to me. And
there's,
yeah, it employs artists, like local artists, and that's something to be proud of, I think,
yeah.
And I think about like people, I don't know, do you remember John Mayer? He was a Florida artist who came to Oakland and was in Portland for a long time, friends with Kevin and all them. But
Oh,
he,
no.
like a lot of his job as a working artist would be going to like Disney World and like, doing the murals and, touching up paint on, different kinds
Mm,
of. So I imagine it might be something like that where a lot of artists kind of come together, kind of contract work and, you know, maybe they get taught like the theme of what the big message of that Meow Wolf is about. You just have to like tie in different storylines and stuff like that. But
Mm,
yeah, fascinating, like creative direction and really cool. So
yeah, no, I agree. And you should you what if you could get your own room in there to curate? That'd be fucking cool one day. You never
yeah,
know. I think part of what I was talking about was like people might have been bummed on them for a second. I feel like it was a union thing.
okay.
Like there was some union talk and unionizing squelching or something. They were accused of something like that, like not wanting to have the artists unionized or something. I don't know any of it. I could be making this all up, but I just feel like if there was a weirdness that happened, it was something weird where it was like a union thing or possibly a unionization thing that didn't go well or something. I don't fucking know. And if I'm
Gotcha.
making this all up, I apologize. But I just remember there was something weird going on a couple years ago. I don't know what happened with that, but go to
Mhm.
Meow Wolf. It rules.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Anything else?
I mean, a lot of other stuff that was kind of unexciting to anyone else. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Denver was all around like pretty cool. It feels like any other, you know, liberal city, I guess. Good record stores, Wax Trax Records was really awesome.
Um, did you go to One Up? Is it called One Up? The barcade. It's like a big arcade bar.
I think I walked by it, but I did not go in.
Yeah, we went there a couple of times. That place is pretty fun. I
Nice.
remember a lot of pinball, but it was a pretty fun spot. Yeah, Denver's always a good time.
Mhm.
You run into anybody you know there? You just run around being the weird
Not,
guy that took a plane from California to the local
yeah,
show.
just kind of walked around and talked to strangers and got into dangerous scenarios and stuff like that. So
Sick. Sounds about
yeah,
normal.
it's like kind of most medications are like that. So next stop's gonna be Portland. So hopefully we can do some sort of part three, maybe, or maybe we can talk
You
about the
can.
Portland
I
airport
was
or
gonna say
something.
you have
Yeah.
to do a Portland. You got Steve's Airport series
Okay.
where
So I
we
mean,
you talk about the weirdness or the non-weirdness of the new PDX, the renovation that incorporates some Bigfoot.
yeah,
Um, did you see the blue Mustang guy? Did you see that? That was kind of a harder one if you maybe flew in at night.
well, yeah, I flew in at night and I got to my hotel, and the train kind of takes you a different route, so you don't see the horse
Mm,
uh when you're on
that's
the train.
intentional. That's
Yeah,
intentional.
I think so too. But it was later a silver lining, so I will tell this story really quickly. On my way back, my flight was supposed to be direct, 3 hour flight, short flight, no problem. Instead, it turned into a 30-hour thing where the flight got canceled, and I ended up having to stay overnight in the bit in like this crazy no man's zone between the Denver airport and downtown Denver. And so it was like this thing where like they canceled the flight and they didn't tell anyone until the minute the door closed. And it was like 1 minute before the flight was supposed to take off, and then they cancel it. And so everyone just like, tried to get hotels and all this kind of stuff. But I managed to get a hotel, and I managed to just get an Uber. And on the way out of the Uber, I was like, I could probably see the horse. Holy shit. And I managed to get one frame of video of the horse. So I'll have to text you that privately.
That's
I
a
mean,
that's a
yeah,
that's a picture. One
yeah,
frame of.
yeah. I mean, I took a video, it's just so awfully like shaky. So it's just like the worst quality. So
Oh man,
yeah.
dang man. Well, it sounds like yeah, you got jinxed.
It's
Like we
cursed.
jinxed you. Oh yeah, you're cursed. You got cursed. You got a curse upon you
Yeah.
to have a really bad time at the Denver airport.
Yeah. But
And
maybe next time will be better. I'm hoping that we
well,
can make it better.
maybe there isn't a next time, you know? Fuck that. I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to go back to that place after that. Flying from where'd you fly out of?
San Luis Obispo.
From SLO to Denver, taking over 30 hours.
Because
Oh
they
my
canceled it. I
God.
had to stay
Awful.
overnight. Yeah,
Awful.
and this is worst. But
I'm telling you, aliens. It's a
aliens.
conspiracy. Fucking conspiracy. They're like, Steve X is coming. Who is this Steve X guy? He knows too much. He can't see it because he's going to decode everything.
Expose.
You know what I mean? They're not going to
So,
let that beautiful mind up in there.
yeah, I think next stop, Portland, I'll have to check back in to see if there's any good Sasquatch merch or anything like that.
And you went to a gift shop in the store and they weren't playing up any of the stuff? Nothing? What the fuck?
That's crazy.
Maybe when they officially reopen, maybe they're just got their budget kind of in the meantime kind of merch going on, and the other stuff's like going to be hot off the presses here.
I think you're right.
I better be. Better be. All right. Well, thanks for the report, Steve. I'm sorry you had a very good time not at the Denver airport.
It was worth it to get the merch, to get the records. So, it's part of the process, and you have to learn how to suffer. So learn to suffer. Yeah.
Dude, you definitely did. And that's the consequence of flying through the Denver airport.
And I usually don't listen to music when I travel, but in the airport, just scathing hardcore for 30 hours, overnight, you're just like, I'm raging quietly to myself.
Oh my God. Yeah. Go back to your teenage years like that, just walking through town angry with playing angry music, hating everybody. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, Steve. Now I honestly really do want to go back to the Denver airport because, like I said, I have not touched down there in a while. And, I gotta see if it's not obviously not what it used to be, not how I remember it, but I don't remember shit about it. I think one time I ate at Panda Express, and that might have been the only time I've ever eaten at Panda Express.
That's probably worth it.
I don't know why I did that. I wasn't myself. You know why? Because I was under the control of aliens.
Crazy.
They probably have some kind of stake in Panda Express. All right, man. I'm getting tired. I'm still in my work clothes.
Oh man.
I need to get out of it. I need to get naked and get in the shower, dude.
I'm glad that Zoom does not have smell.
Yes. Yes, you are glad. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because I took like a bird bath, a little bit of a bird bath, just to not smell so bad for myself. You know what I mean? And now I gotta do it for real.
All right.
Armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth, most important parts. That's all I'm gonna wash.
Dedication.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. Later.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. There that is, and there that was. Didn't seem like you saw too much at the airport, which is a bummer. It's in transition. It's not the same. You have to find a fucking time machine and go back to when the Denver airport was in its heyday. Because it's just hard to get around, it seems. But that is some pretty funny shit that he came across at the show. He was seeing signs. I mean, Denver's a weird place, right? I mean, it's proven. This is proof. It's fucking weird there. It's not just the airport. It's in the air. It's that fucking mountain air up there. Thanks, Steve, for that update. I really appreciate it. Sorry for to the listeners for I tried to explain the images that you're probably not going to get to see that he was showing me of the things that he saw. Hopefully we did a good enough job so you can visualize in your mind what we were looking at. But that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me as usual. Thanks to Renni. Thanks to Steve X for coming back and sharing that beautiful update. Listen to Company Move, like I said. Listen to Brothers with Opinions. Listen to Post Rhetoric. Listen to those old Headspin episodes with Jenny. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of anyone else that has a podcast. Everyone has a fucking podcast. I can't remember all my friends' podcasts. But those are the ones you should listen to the most. All right, everybody. I'm feeling a bit tired. Feeling a bit loopy. I will see you next time. Until then, please, everyone, stay sane and stay safe.